Okay. As always, gotta make sure this thing is on. Honestly, not sure if it is. It does say I'm live. Wait, it says it's scheduled. Oh no, here I am. Wait, it says it's scheduled. Fuck, we got the stream. The stream is up. 1 second. Hello. Stay Cozy, Justin Blank, Breek Gaming. Is the audio all good? I've been getting people telling me that my audio is like super low. I don't know what that could be about, but what is up, everybody? Let me go tag my Discord and tweet out that I'm live. Typical tings. What about the new Starlight? What do you want to know about it? It's right here. I actually have 3. Final Mouse sent me 2, and then I bought another one from an IRL friend. How do you keep entertained with something as boring as mice? Well, obviously, I don't think they're boring. I think they are works of art. I think they are maybe the most exciting PC peripheral. So that's how. I just don't find them boring at all. Can you ask your members to stop making memes about... I don't even know what that means. Probably not. Generally let people do what they want in my Discord unless it's causing harm or is illegal. What does AMA mean? It means ask me anything. I don't know why I put it at the end of the title, but I just feel like this is it's just a Q&A stream. If you've been in the streams, I just sit here and answer questions for a few hours until my camera dies or I run out of water. And there's really not much more to it, so I figure I might as well put in the title, like, ask me anything. Is the XL22566K worth it? I don't know. I was going to decide today just on which monitor I'm going to go with, and I doubt it's going to be a Zowie panel. I think I'm going to go with 240Hz OLED, just see what it's all about. Thoughts on the Ponage Stormbreaker? I don't think much of it. I mean, they might be sending me a review unit, but until then, I don't really care, because they're only showing 3D renders of it, and it's like a magnesium mouse, so it's really... like, it comes down to how they actually produce it. I don't care what it looks like with a computer-generated rendering. Yay, more streams. Yeah, that's always the goal. It's always the goal to stream as many times a week as I can, which is generally 1. Q&A stream? I mean, yeah, feel free to just ask any question in the chat. M833-35 still good? Not really, man. I just would not recommend going with that mouse. Like, you can save up... like, I don't know, the $50 to $60 wireless mouse range, it's not incredible, but you can still get stuff that's better. Fantech Aria is one that comes to mind, MM712. What do you think about the Viper Mini Special Edition first drop? I was shocked that they only did 1,300 units. I was under the impression it was around 2,000, and maybe that they did, like, produce 2,000 and just only serialized 1,300, but, like, wow, that was very few units. Like, Final Mouse... produces 10k units, says they're going to produce more in the future, does like multiple drops with 40k units, but like Razer's producing 1,300 and people are giving them a pass because they say they're going to make more in the future. I just don't get that really, but it is. I was just surprised by the limited quantity of units. How much will the boardsy mice be? They're going to be the typical $95 price point, and they're actually the confirmed as much as it's ever been date is March 17th. I know I had been saying like late February in the last streams. It's not going to be late February. It's going to be like mid-March. And March 17th was a date I was given, so you can expect a review a week or so before that. But yeah, it's $95. It is going to have the updated coding, which apparently, like, you guys, I didn't understand how much like codings actually cost to implement, but apparently having a premium coding actually does add a lot to the total cost of a product. The updated switches, obviously, Huano, Blue Shell, Pink Dots. It's just a nice X2. So that's going to be then. Can you ask them to make boardsy X2 with digital switches? I presume that means optical switches. I'm not sure. If they decide to do another edition, maybe it will be optical switches. I'm not sure. Bro, mine's been on hold since yesterday. What's been on hold? Viper Mini? You gonna do a pink Gpx giveaway? That would have been smart for Valentine's Day. If you gave me that idea a week ago, I absolutely would have done one. But yeah, I don't know. Boardsy pads? Stay tuned for that. Mr. Boardsy, will you get the centerpiece keyboard? Yeah, I'm going to get sent a centerpiece by Final Mouse, but not only that, right? I'm going to give away 5 centerpiece codes because I have 3 mice right now. I got a code because I attended FinalCon, and then I'm just going to get another code as well, so I can give away 5 codes. So That's going to be happening before it launches, obviously. But I was pretty hyped to give away like all. Well, it's just like access codes. It's not even like a free code for the keyboard, but it's pretty based. Kevin Huang with the $5. Thank you, man. When's the ES2/Atlantis mini review coming? Atlantis mini review already happened. I posted that, well, like around 2 weeks ago at this point. But ES1 and ES2, I just have to review those probably like next week. A pink giveaway for Valentine's would be hella smart. It would have been, but now that passed. That idea passed. That's unfortunate. Appreciate everybody coming out to the random Wednesday afternoon stream. I don't know how much like stream times really matter, but very dope. When's your mouse coming out? March 17th is the date that I've been given, so I'm just assuming mid to late March at the absolute latest. But yeah, it's going to be dope. Pulsar Glasspad comes today. Nice. Yeah, Pulsar Glasspad, Skypad, it's pretty much a toss-up between those, but it's a pretty premium Glasspad in my opinion. Any news on upcoming 4K Hertz mice? I'm finally getting an HTX, which I believe is 4K Hertz, from Chad Alt Delete. He's a reviewer on YouTube. I'm sure a lot of you guys more tuned into the mouse game have heard of him, but he is personally sending me out his unit because G-Wolves just does not seem to be sending one. I also had to buy an XM2 Wii from a community member just because like Endgame Gear is not sending me one of those either. I don't know what happened. I don't know if I fell off, but I just can't get my hands on review units anymore. So a lot of people have been asking about like when my reviews of those mice are going to be coming. So I just took matters into my own hands. Chad is great. True as fuck. I remember watching his original Starlight reviews and I was like, whoa. Thank you. Do you know how long it's limited for your mouse? There's 3,000 units, 1,500 of each size. And I've been told by some people that they think it's going to sell out fast. I've been told by others that they don't, so I don't really know what to think, but it is what it is. They won't send you review units because you're honest about the mice? I don't even think that's the case because, like, I know I'm eventually going to get a G-Wolves mouse. Like, they've sent me every launch, like, they've ever done, basically. It's just they don't really do it with any sense of urgency. They've never given me a tracking number, so I'm like, I just want to review this mouse at this point. But Endgame Gear, it's really weird. Like, I'm not gonna like go through the DMs, but they have like been leading me on about that review unit for over a month at this point. So I just gave up on that as well. Logitech shell leak. I did see that posted by the whale with the USB-C cutout. So that's kind of cool. Will there be a coating on your mouse? Yes, the X2 special edition, there will be a coating, and it's really nice. People are gonna try that and be like, holy shit, there's going to be like an uprising, protests even, in Korea to get those coatings on the standard editions. Anyone hyped for the USB-C Gpx? I am, personally, because there could be a lot more to it than just a USB-C Gpx. It could be 4K Hertz. What the fuck? I'm like spastic as shit. Could be 4K Hertz, could be a lot lighter. I don't really know. When do you think Viper Mini Wireless will release? The standard plastic editions? It seems like it's not going to be until the summer. That's what they said on Reddit. And companies like that, usually they delay products. Products don't come out before they expect them to. So I would say it's just not soon enough, honestly. Is there a reason why the centerpiece won't have analog switches like the Wooting? They will have a version that's coming out with Hall effect switches that have like rapid trigger capabilities. But that's not going to be the first version. The first version is just going to be standard mechanical, I believe. Starlight Last Legend giveaway. I honestly should give away a small. Like, I just have a legit extra small that I don't even know if I have like an infinity shell to put on it. So that could happen. I'll probably do that on like Twitter. Because YouTube giveaways, I don't know what it is. Like, I kind of want to do a thing. Like, put a 1 in the chat if you're in America. Put a 2 if you're international. Because all of my giveaways, like, the majority of the winners are international on YouTube, and it's too much. Wait, I said 2 for international, right? There's seeing a lot of 2s. Good amount of 1s as well. I mean, I guess it makes sense because it's a good time for international streams as well. Seems pretty split, though. Is that Viper Mini your new main? I'm not going to say it's like my hard main, but I'm using it a lot so I can make a like 1 month of hard use video on it. I'm using it a lot because I want to have a verdict on these glass skates, which I learned a lot more about. They're advertised as Gorilla Glass, But apparently that's the same thing as aluminosilicate glass that the super glides are made out of. So they're very similar to super glides. Mine have not slowed down at all yet. You can see the initial friction. Like, they're just crazy fast, but I'm using them until they slow down, or to see if they slow down. Does 4K polling rate make a difference? You can certainly notice a difference. Like, just when you say make a difference, what do you mean? Like, does it make a visual difference that you'll be able to notice? I'm sure. Is it going to make you a better, like, aimer? Absolutely not. So the international split, it does seem like there are a lot. I'd say like maybe over 50% international, so it makes sense. Malaysians, though, I presume all of the international people are Malaysians, because 4 of the last giveaway winners were Malaysian. That was just eye-opening. Your favorite LGG mousepad non-pro? Definitely the Venus. The Venus it's just a crazy pad. Keychron M3 mouse coming, $33.95 for $50. I just searched up mouse review earlier, and I watched some random guy's review of that. And it looked really bad. It's like 88 grams. The buttons it just doesn't look good. Like, yeah, it has a $33.95 for $50, but just get like a Fantech Aria for $10 more. It's like a proper mouse. MM712, $33.70. It's like $20 more, but it's just way better. What size of the Starlight do you usually get? Before I even got into reviewing, I used the Ultralight 2, which is the same size as the small. So I've been like really comfortable with these small Starlights. So that's my preferred size. I never like loved the medium more than it, but the medium's fine as well. Apparently they're going to do a large size for their next mouse that's going to be under 40 grams, so that should be sick as well. And I'm getting a wireless 4K Hertz Air 58 mod. I can show a picture of that, actually. I saw somebody say it makes a difference on your battery. That is very true. 4K Hertz does drain the shit out of your battery, so be prepared for that. Wait, is Pulsar mousepad coming today or something? What do you mean by that? You know, bottled water has microplastics, right? I'm not too worried about the microplastics coming from my Pull & Spring water. If it was any other brand, I would be, but Pull & Spring, they get a pass. So hyped for your collab, man. It's honestly gorgeous. I appreciate that. There's been mixed feedback, but I think it's sick. Like, it is just objectively the best design. They had a whole artist do that. Have you seen the So Spacer grips? Yeah, I actually have. I think I saw a Japanese guy post those, and it seems cool. I might wind up trying them out if like Lethal Gaming Gear stocks them in the US. Also, Max Gaming has like finger trainers now. I was thinking about getting one of those. Wait, hold on. Let me turn on my display capture for a second. These are the mice I was talking about. So I'm getting a wireless Viper Mini, and also going to be getting a 4K Hertz wireless Air 58. Just some crazy mods. Men, yo, what is up, Stormy? How's it going? Is it the same coating as the Bruce Lee edition? Yeah, it is. So it feels like just really good. New HyperX Haste, is it out? Like, I've heard about that. I think it got announced at CES, but I just didn't. Dude, can you just stop talking about the Pulsar X2 mousepad coming today? Like, okay, that is awesome if you're getting a Pulsar pad today. Okay, never mind. That message is just getting spammed too much. I'm at my wit's end. What time will your mouse drop midnight? I don't know. I have no idea what the exact time is going to be. I also don't even know if the date is like confirmed for then yet. That's just the date I know that we're going by for the launch. Bro, can you explain the reasoning behind a Bruce Lee edition? It's so random. I don't know. His licensing, I don't know. Maybe it's like, is it known to be cheap? Are they just big Bruce Lee fans? I honestly don't know, but Bruce Lee's pretty dope, I guess. What battery size did you get in the Air 4K? I don't know. I just let Silent G do the mods for me. I'll like ask him when I get the mouse, realistically. Which company treats you the best aside from Pulsar? I mean, Lethal Gaming Gear, like just all of these years has been insane. Like anytime I just need mouse skates, I'll just DM them and they will show up like relatively soon. So gotta give it to Lethal because they're the goats. But in terms of mouse companies, it's hard to think about. I've got Lamzu Atlantis just waiting for XM2W. It's crazy to think about the XM2W. Like, when is that coming? There haven't been any updates on that in a while. I just grabbed my I Survived Boardsy Fest stamp thinking it was a water bottle. LGG shipping in Canada is $48. Yeah, Canada is really fucked. Like, you guys just don't have any big retailers. Something needs to be done about that. Why does it sound like my voice is dying? Is anybody else hearing that? Am I just like schizoing out? Any new mice using the better Nordic chip outside G-Wolves? Yeah, actually Wise Owl with the OGM Pro. Wait, is my camera like... Oh no, that's my display capture. Fuck, what was I just answering about? Yeah, the Wise Owl mouse. Yeah, it has a Nordic chip. It's like a really good implementation. Came out of nowhere. Opinions on the Viper Mini Special Edition selling out as fast as it did? I mean, it's Razer, a fucking huge global brand, who did a stock of 1,300 units. It makes sense. I just did not know that it was really going to be that few units. And they got to restock it fast, and it has to be, like, more units. I don't know what to say. We running Boardsy Fest back? Indeed. It's going to be bigger and better. The whole point of the stamps is to limit people, like, getting repeat items. I've just been, like, putting them all over my hands because I'm trying to figure out, like, how many stamps you can get before having to redo the ink. But yeah, pretty dope. Pretty dope stampage. So yeah, that's basically confirmed to be in the same place it was last year. Not going to spend too much time talking about BoardsyCon when it's like 5 months out. But yeah, same place as last year, similar time, looking at July 8th. It's going to be the time of everybody's lives. When is Boardsy Fest? July 8th. Don't mark your calendar, but like that's probably going to be the date. We need EU Boardsy Fest. I'm working on it. I'm literally in the process of getting my passport, and then I'm going to do some type of world tour. I don't know how I'm going to go about doing it, but trust me. Where is it? It's Owl's Head Park in Brooklyn, New York. So, how many of y'all got the Viper Mini Special Edition? That's a good question. I wonder how many people in the chat have the Viper Mini Special Edition. If you do, let me know what you think about it, because I wonder what the retail units are like. So far, I've seen a pretty positive, experiences with it. What do you think Logitech will do in 2023 with the Superlight? Well, I've seen leaks of the shell, like with a USB-C cutout, so it seems like that's pretty much guaranteed. They have to copy Razer with the 4K hertz or like catch up to them. Maybe they'll have something even better. Maybe they'll manage to do it with a good battery life. But yeah, just like an updated Superlight that's more modern. If you come to EU, come to Germany. I definitely will. I'll have a word with Endgame Gear about the XM2W. Are you coming to Malaysia? I might as well. I probably have more fans in Malaysia than America. How do you feel about the Hot ES Plus 4K? It's expensive, like for a G-Wolves mouse, but it's solid if you like the shape for like aggressive claw grip. Got it this morning. Only issues, the side ones are a little wobbly, but not as bad as yours. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, even if you just have like the mild wobble, if you play Fortnite and you go crazy on that for like 6 months, I just wonder what it's going to be like then. But if you just use the sidebands casually, I think they should be good. Skip the Viper Mini, couldn't justify a price, and I've been happy with the Last Legend. Yeah, if you're fine with a final mouse, it's really... I just can't say it's worth like almost $300 more. I have the Viper Mini Signature. Well worth the cost. See, that's a crazy thing to say. Well worth the cost. That means you would have paid more. Hey, yo, Malaysia represent. Let's go. Shout out to Malaysia. What do you think of the new Starlight? I mean, it was solid for the stock price. I don't know if I would recommend buying it aftermarket, but they had just refined the Starlight and been doing drops of pretty much the same product for well over a year. Nothing too much new about it. The Omron switches are pretty solid, though. I feel like I like the kills on the Phantom the most, but if people are having double clicking, I guess that's not good. Is Venus Pro good? I have the Landspolar right now. I honestly prefer the standard Venus to the Venus Pro. But yeah, it's not bad. I would just recommend like the Hayato and the standard Venus over it. Did you try out the G-Wolves HTX? No, but another reviewer, Chad Alt Delete. Hold on. I should like link his channel because absolute goat for just supplying me with his G-Wolves HTX for review. Wait, did he even review it yet? I'm gonna like send a link to his channel. I don't even know if he posted a video on it yet. No way sending me it before he posts a video on it. But yeah, I don't know like if G-Wolves is even gonna send me a unit. I bet they will though. Have you heard about the Black Atlantis Mini? No. Is there actually news about it? Or is it just like the concept of it? Because I do think they should make one. Are you excited for the Ultralight X? Yeah, very honestly. New Final Mouse has the potential to be very based. When are we getting a G705? Wait, is that like the inclusive mouse? I can't believe I've still never reviewed that. I should totally do that. That's like just something I totally spaced on. It's a great idea. Do you have a G-Wolves HTX 4K? No, but I'm getting one soon. What's your choice in terms of click implementation? With standard mechanical switches, probably well implemented Huano blue shell pink dots. Has Pulsar given you updates on their new mouse line coming? I don't think those are necessarily like early 2023, but nah, I don't have any like hard dates on that. Sorry, Boardsy, come to the UK one day. You are a good man, and I will make it a goal to come to the UK. Did you see the Gpx V3 leaks? Yeah, I did. USB-C confirmed. It seems cool. I just hope they're able to like actually shave down the weight, implement 4K hertz, like make it a product that's worth buying. Hey Boardsy, I'm a little late. I don't know if you've been asked this, but there's not even a question at the end of that. I don't know why I read that, but what is up, Josh? Got every question's like, did you see rumors about the new G Pro wireless? 8K hertz, 54 grams. I did not hear that though. Where do you see the actual numbers? Like, where was that leaked? Was it on Reddit? Took a risk on that YSL mouse. I hope I like it. It's a pretty exotic mouse. Like, it's definitely going to be a risk. But if you like EC-ish ergo shapes, I think you'll like it. If you like the outside AX, something like that. GPX suitable for small hands with a relaxed claw / fingertip. Yeah, you'll probably be able to pull it off. It's a very universal shape. 1 second. Came back to this rabbit hole. How did you ever leave? How could you leave the gaming mouse scene? That's just like best place to be. Someone commented on Twitter, 8K hertz and 54 grams. Ah, interesting. Maybe. I mean, that gives me something to look forward to. Death Adder V3 Mini when? I don't know. I should ask Razer that, honestly. Because in theory, why can't they push that? I mean, I guess it's a totally new shell. That's why they can't push it out, but I don't know. Excited for the HyperX Pulsefire Haste 2? I mean, as hype as I can be for like a budget HyperX mouse, I don't think it's gonna shake up the market. But if they do it right, it could be a like nice budget mouse. I feel like that's its ceiling though. HTS 4K or Lamzo Atlantis? It really depends on your like hand size and the shape you want. But I would say the Atlantis is going to be a better value. Any update on the Zebra X2? Yeah, March 17th is the like launch date that I am working off of. So I can't like say it's 100% the final date, but it's like actually going to be in that range. Because I did not realize it takes time for like global retailers to get the product. A lot of things I didn't realize. Have you tried the Lamsey mouse head? Yeah, they sent me that and I actually got to testing it right after I posted the Super Glide review, and it's good. It's like a Raiden X Soft. I feel like that's the pad it's closest to. But it's just like the idea of reviewing a black square is crazy, but I gotta do it. I gotta review that. I gotta review the Pulsar ES2. So there's some mousepad reviews coming up. Wait, you're dropping a collab? What the fuck? Yeah, the Pulsar X2 Boardsy Zebra Gang edition. Who do you think will do 8K hertz wireless first? It could be Logitech if they're looking to like one up with Razer. But Razer, I feel like I don't know if 33 or 3950s like have the potential to do 8K wireless and they just aren't for battery life reasons. Pulsar said esports series is spring, so they'll be doing that around the same time as Boardsy Edition X2. I don't think so because my X2 is going to be like super early spring. I don't even know. March 17th. Is that even spring? Might be like just the tip of spring. So I don't know when those are going to be directly. Any word on the Zodiac sign mouse pads? Wait, what's that? Zodiac sign mouse pads. They're the same mouse as the GPX Superlight, but in smaller size. Not like a directly scaled down version, unless you get like a 3D printed one from Piranha Mouse Mods. But there are some mice that have like GPX Mini vibes. Borzy, did you see a new GPX leak? I did see the shells with the cutout for USB-C. Did you see it? Got himself RJN upload? Yes, and it was a collab with Too Much Tech. I mean, shout out to Too Much Tech, but I'm very jealous of him. Like, I wish I could be in a Rocket Jump Ninja video. That's like up there on my life goals. Can the polling rate go up to 4K on the Lambs? That's not, it can't. Singapore fans, where are you at? I wonder. I feel like just Asia. I got fans all over that region. When HTX review? I should be getting a unit later this week, potentially early next week. Not through Gwolves, through another YouTuber, Chad Alt Delete, because I don't know why, but Gwolves just like can't seem to get me that unit. What should I get with $100 budget? I mean, there are honestly so many good mice, like under $100 with 3395s. I've made videos on them. I'm gonna make a best mouse at every price point video because that's been something people have been asking me to do for a while, and I guess it just makes a lot of sense. Atlantis doesn't have motion sync? No, it does. Why wouldn't it? Ajaz dropped a new mouse with a 3395 sensor. Really? They made the same shapes as Glorious for the longest time, right? They were like the Glorious OEM mouse. Now they have a 3395 offering. Did you guys see the Glorious Model O2 and I2 got delayed? It's wild. Mice that nobody cares about are getting delayed. Hopefully they make them better. Not including internals. What's your favorite mouse shape? I mean, it's weird, but it's like the Starlight small shape. It's like so natural for fingertip. At least for me. For claw grip, it's totally different though. Will you review the Ponage Stormbreaker? I'll review it, but I'm not too excited for it. But it could be decent. It looks like Ponage is taking a risk. Honest review: is Viper Mini Signature Edition worth the $300? Like, in my review, I say that I don't think it is. So I don't know what type of answer I could give besides no. Because it's just not going to be twice as good as a $150 mouse, really. Like, Razer sells the same mice with the same tech for basically half the price. It's like you're just paying for the shell and the design. Will you review the dual mousepad? Probably not. It's just like, it's not really good enough. Next Final Mouse coming out this spring, 29G. They said it's a full-size mouse. I did hear about that, but I don't think the full-size mouse is going to be 29. I think it's going to be in the high 30s, but regardless, it's like crazy. Because, I mean, I don't know, it's supposed to be made out of carbon glass? When will you get the XM2 Wii? I should be getting that later this week. It already is shipped to me. I just bought one from somebody who bought a unit. Apparently, Endgame Gear did not have review units for the US, and they were gonna send me one, and then they just didn't send me one. Why do you hate Glorious? They just don't make good mice. It's really all it comes down to. It's nothing personal. It's just they've never wowed me with a mouse. And I don't think that's going to change at all in the future, given their plans. Have you seen the new Keychron mouse as a $33.95 for $50? I did. It's also 88 grams, and it's just like, it doesn't really impress me. Like, the sensor alone, I doubt it's a good implementation. I doubt it's a premium MCU. It's just like a budget mouse. But a lot of people are asking about it, so maybe I'll just make a video shitting on it. Viper Mini with Boardsy Signature Edition when? That would be sick. I wonder if they would be up for that. Do you plan to switch to OLED monitors? I don't know why I didn't just say OLED, but yeah, I was actually gonna get one today. Like, I was thinking, should just finally pull the plug on a monitor. Or pull the trigger, not pull the plug. But yeah. How long till XM2W? I don't fucking know, man. The standard XM2W, that's just like in a perma delay. Are you getting the Zaunkönig M3K or M2S? Yes, I always forget about those mice until they're brought up in my stream, and I'm like, I should reach out to the Zaunkönig owner and just see what's up with those mice. I would love to review them, but yeah, I'm down to like buy them. I just don't know when they're launching or if they're out already. Is Atlantis Mini an upgrade from a GPX? I mean, it's lighter. It could be a nicer shape for you. I wouldn't say it's like directly gonna dethrone it though. Jules HTX Ace 36 gram mouse review, please. Coming soon. Don't you worry. Why do you remind me of Derek from More Plates, More Dates? I don't know why. I mean, I watched him. I'd say I watched him most like last year around this time, but then he kind of stopped uploading. Solid YouTuber, my opinion. Peace out, Stormy. What are your opinions on the HTX? I'm not really going to talk about it until I have it in hand. Like, it's a G-Wolves mouse, so it's just hard to tell until you actually have the product in hand. It seems promising, though. See something about an NDA. Boardsy, check out Asus 1440p 360 Hz. I was thinking about that. That was a monitor I was thinking about a while ago, but I think I just want to try OLED to see what it's about. Are the holes okay or just straight bad? On the Viper Mini Signature Edition, I would say they're okay. Like, it is a bad design, but I would say for most people, like, it's not going to ruin the mouse for you. If you fingertip, it's not an issue at all. Final mouse keyboard thoughts? I mean, I think it's, you don't need to spam that question a million times, but I think it's going to be a pretty innovative keyboard. And I'm really excited for the addition with Hall effect switches because the standard mechanical one, that's like just not as crazy. When Zebra, just around a month out, March 17th is the date that I have heard is going to be the launch. What the fuck is fingertip? It's when you grip a mouse and only your fingertips are touching the mouse, like none of your palm. So in that case, obviously having all of these holes is not going to matter a lot because you're just gripping with your fingertip. That's a shape explanation. Everybody make sure to leave a like on the stream for that. Do you recommend the Atlantis Mini or X2 Mini for claw grip? If you want like a wider feeling mouse, you should go with the X2 Mini, I would say, but it's just going to feel like a bit like chunkier and wider in hand, even though it's still a mini mouse, but I would say for fingertip, it's a lot better. Now, what is this spam? I don't know. It's the one thing about streaming on YouTube. I haven't bothered to set up a spam filter yet, or like a few seconds of slow mode. What is that on your right hand? It's a stamp that says, I survived Boardsy Fest. I've just been testing it out because I'm going to use it at Boardsy Fest, obviously, but I just need to test it out on my own hand. And I washed it off yesterday, and then I re-stamped myself today, so it's just a crazy situation. Have the X2 GM 8.0s been fixed? What was the problem with them? Just like double-clicking or the squeaking? Because like the squeaking and stuff has been addressed, but if you had like double-click issues, I think that's just a kill issue. What's the best budget 4K mouse? I don't think there is a budget 4K wireless mouse on the market right now. The cheapest one is probably, I think it's just Razer's implementations. I think that's cheaper than G-Wolves. Any info on black coating Atlantis Mini? Nah, and Lamzu does not really communicate with me too directly. They're just like, hey, we have a new product, and they send it out. What could Razer do to improve the Death Adder V3 Pro for a new model? I think the Death Adder V3 Pro is like in a really good place. They should just focus on making a mini version of it rather than revising that version, I would say. Like, if the Death Adder V3 Pro works for you, like, it's going to really work well for you. And if not, you just need a mini version. Damn, Razer should hire me. More grinding and sticking, not squeaking? Yeah. Well, all of those, like, the, like, physical mold issues have been addressed. You just said kill, so that, like, threw me off. Main of Death Adder V3, we're looking for a backup option. Is the X2 a good option? I mean, definitely. Especially if you're not looking to spend like $150 on another mouse. Or you could go with an X2, Lamzu Atlantis. Both of those are good for under $100. Faker version. Yeah, I've heard about that. That's like the special edition. I don't know what's gonna happen with that. Are you ever gonna create your own website for mice and mousepads with a tier list like Rock and Jump Ninja? I've been thinking about it, but I just don't know. Boardsy.gg could be a thing, but I have like the list with the seal of approval products in my Discord. I feel like that gets you 90% of the way there. A lot of the shit on RJN's site is like, especially with like the hand size thing, is just like kind of gimmicky, and not. It's like hard to keep it up to date. But I definitely could do that. When BoardsEcon comes to UK Manchester, listen, if I ever have a base in the UK, I'll definitely have BoardsEcon out there. Razor guy gave me a free Viper Pro at Katowice. That's sick. They're making a red one? Oh, so it's just a red Death Hour V3? That's pretty cool. I'll definitely cop that. What kind of shape is the Vax XE used to Superlight Death Hour V3? How does it compare? A lot better to Superlight. Kind of just like a lower Superlight that flares out more at the bottom, so it feels a lot wider in your hand. Watch my review of the wireless. Compare it. Viper Mini Signature Edition Death Hour V3 Pro or Viper VG Pro for claw grip. I should make a video just going over all of those mice. That's a good idea. But I mean, if you have large hands, I would say Death Hour V3 Pro. But if you like the original Viper Mini shape, definitely go with that. Viper VG Pro is just not my first choice for claw grip. What mouse is like the Starlight 12 Small? None are really direct clones because there's just not a lot of interest in like flat small mice anymore. But Pulsar X2 Mini is one option. Apparently the HTX shape from Gwolves is similar, but I just don't know if that's really true. When's HTX review coming? Actual review should be sometime next week, I would imagine. When are you joining OTV? I doubt any time, ever. What's your favorite game? I don't know. I've been trying everything recently. I downloaded Diabolical. I can't believe that game is so dead. Like, game came out a year ago, and I can't even get into a lobby on it. Yeah, I would say, like, Fortnite is the one thing I keep coming back to, and it's just so bad. What games is everybody in here playing? There has to be some hidden gem. Listen to Zyism, and I'm shocked. Zyism is different, man. Yo, Nick's Jinx with the $2. Recommendation for someone who likes X2 Mini fingertip shape. You could always go with like a Starlight Small if you want to make that upgrade. But I would say X2 Mini, if you like fingertipping it, there's not really any direct upgrades that aren't going to be a lot more expensive in my opinion. When will Zowie release the wireless S2? I don't know. I don't know why they went with the ECs first and just like didn't really announce when they're going to go with their other shapes, but potentially at some point. And the ZA is definitely going to be last. We're going to go into 2024 without a wireless ZA. Mark my words. HTX is pretty similar to Starlight 12, but HTX has better build quality. Interesting. Is Artings a good website for mice? Their shape comparison's good. Anything besides that, not really. Saw that the Atlantis Mini is back in stock on Lamzoo's website. Do you suggest getting it from there or waiting for Amazon to drop it? I would get it from there. How much is shipping with DHL? Does it like add to the price significantly? Because if it doesn't, just like, I would recommend that. Also, Addis Inc. has it. They're in the US, but I don't know if they have their stock. Which mouse is next for a Viper Ultimate? User the Viper V2 Pro. It just makes like too much sense. It's just literally the better Viper Ultimate. Is the QC of the Atlantis Mini better than the Atlantis? I mean, it seems my copies are around the same. I don't know. I don't have like 20 copies of the mice to compare the QC. I just have the one I was sent, and it seems pretty solid. $10 shipping bought from Lamzoo last week. Yeah, so I would just buy from Lamzoo. Have any mice beat the sub 40 gram threshold? Yeah, apparently new HTX from Gwolves is, but in terms of other full-size mice below 40, I can't think of any. Rich Boy with the $2. Be getting a zebra cable with your X2? Nah, because along with the new switches and the new coding, like getting the zebra themed accessories, apparently it just would have been officially too much. So there is no, like, it's just standard shit, I'm pretty sure. And if I was a big fan of glass skates, there could have been zebra glass skates, but I just didn't want to like put a zebra design on a product that I didn't really fuck with. What's your hand size and what grip do you mainly use? My hands, as far as I know, at last measuring, because I've been called out for lying about my hand size, is like 21 by 11. And I would say I mainly use, if I'm not playing Fortnite, it's like a fingertip grip. But if I'm playing like anything, mainly Fortnite, it's just like a claw grip. Are 3D printed mice good? Generally not. Like, I've never used a 3D printed mouse and actually thought, wow, this is better than a well-engineered plastic or even magnesium mouse. I just like, I don't know, 3D printing tech, it's just not there for gaming mice. Apex Season 16 is turning out pretty good. I might give it a shot. I heard, well, it's just new. Maybe that's worth trying. Any update on the release for your Board the X2? Yeah, it's looking like March 17th. Should be the launch. Not gonna bet my life on it, but yeah. Is the X2 Mini good for claw grip? Yeah, I believe so. It depends on your hand size and grip, obviously. I have 20 by 10 hands. Which mice do you recommend for palm grip? My first recommendation would be Death Adder V3 Pro for sure. 3D printed mice suck. 3D printed bottoms might be worth it. I pretty much agree with that. Because yeah, like 3D printed bases are really cool, especially just for like converting wired mice like into wireless ones. If your hands are that big, then why are you using them small mice? Like, why does it really matter? If all I need is my fingertips, like, why do I need a big mouse? It's just perfectly easily grippable. Can do the same thing like on a bigger mouse. It's just like heavier, just not as ideal. Can I have a code for the Boardsy mouse? I don't think it's gonna be that serious, like with the drops. Price for your Zebras, $95. Same size or same price as the standard one. Do you dislike aftermarket grips? No, I don't dislike them. I just don't find a need for them on most mice. How do Omrons in the new Starlight feel compared to the Kale 8.0s they used to use? I would say they're like going to be slightly heavier. The Kale's implementation on the 10s and the Phantom were just like really good in my opinion. I was surprised they switched it up, but the Omrons are fine. Apparently they don't double click. I have like no issues with them in game. Any hype for any upcoming mice with the same shape as the MM720 but wireless with the newest sensor? I have no idea. Probably not. Just because that shape is so niche. Maybe like Xenix will make a 3395 version though. Are you excited for a new Final Mouse? Yeah. Are Zowie mice still goated for CS? Yeah, Zowie mice are still the only mouse that actually works in CS. Like, if you're playing CS and you want to do well without a Zowie mouse, you might as well fucking uninstall the game. There's just no chance. Quake Legends is better than Diabolical? I believe it. Is it more alive? Because, like, it was baffling. Because Diabolical doesn't even seem like a bad game, but it's like straight up nobody plays it. Do you notice any differences between 10s and Last Legends? The coatings are different. It's like a bit more glossy on the 10s version, but like actually in game, do I notice any like performance or even quality differences? Not really. Audio is really low for some reason. Can you turn mic up? See, you're the first person that said that. I get comments like that on my videos. Why do some people think my audio's low, but like other people don't complain? It's just so weird to me. How's your aim lab scores? Generally good. Like, it depends on the scenario. Like, I obviously don't have top scores on the fucking voltaic nerd scenarios, but should definitely put more aim lab gameplay. Audio is fine. Audio is fine. It is low or it is fine. I don't know. Seems like there's not much split on the audio. Both are dead, but you can actually get lobbies on Quake Legends. I wish more people were into Arena FPS. Yeah, I really don't get why they aren't. Are the opticals on the Bruce Lee great like razors? I believe they come out of the same factory. Like, it's a pretty similar implementation, just feels a bit different with the shell. Main in Oda Infinity recently bought a Saturn Pro, thought it was a tad too slow, so I was looking at a Raiden. Is it much faster in the Infinity? Yeah, it's just different because it doesn't have a similar amount of stopping power. It's like a lot lighter of a glide, but I mean, you could go with a Raiden. Lamzu's new pad, the Energon's, like, I think that's what it's called. It's a pretty much a budget version of the rating. I'm going to make a video on it at some point. How is the Punch Stormbreaker? I don't have it, so I don't really know, but it's not something I would pre-order personally. Better to crank it up and viewers can turn it down, not up. Yeah, I'm just concerned with background noise, though, because, like, I'm right outside a window, and, I mean, I guess people could turn it down if there's background noise. It's all the way up in OBS zone. It's, like, right next to my face. Stormbreaker cringe only rendered images? Yeah. They should at least, like, post pictures of the shell. Have you on max and can't hear that well? I mean, like, okay, I'll move the gain wheel a little bit. Is this better? Can you make a video of the best mice right now in the market? This weekend, I think I'm going to have a best mouse at every price point video, starting at like 20, going up to like 300 maybe. I don't know, like probably going to go in like $30 increments or something. And then an updated tier list is coming before the end of the month. But getting the tier list updated is going to be a whole process. Is the battery on the X2 good? Yeah, I mean, in my experience it is. But I've seen people complain about, like, battery QC on, like, the Lamzu Atlantis and the X2. So I just have no idea what that's about. Could be a sound system. Yeah, generally when people complain about low audio, I just presume they don't have the audio turned up a lot. Like, on all of the, like, all the ways it could be turned up. But I will amend it. You're on Ergo now? I mean, I would say, like, my main mouse, if I had to pick one, would be the Death Adder V3 Pro, but it's not, like, the only mouse I'm using, obviously. And I would say mouse I've been testing most this month has been the Viper Mini Signature Edition, just because it's so popular. I want to use it so I can make, like, long-term updates on it. And testing out the Glass Skates, which I might just do a video on soon. I love your video. I love you so much. Your video's so inspiring. I appreciate that comment. Audio levels are fine. Well, yeah, now it should certainly be fine since I turned up the gain. If anything, it should be loud. Can you drop left-handed aim lab vid? That would be funny, like aiming with my left hand. Maybe I should just try to get good with my left hand. Wonder how long that would take. So QC on the Hottie M wireless good. I don't know. I mean, if you're looking for a same exact shape in wireless, I would say it's like the one use case where you should actually go for it. I just don't know how good it is. It had Omron 20Ms, which I wasn't a fan of. I don't know if they've made the new batches any better. Sora seems really good on paper. Why is nobody talking about it? Really, it just got outshined by the Lamzu Mini. It's just hard to, like, recommend over that. The shape, it's just, like... I hate to, like, just dismiss a mouse because I don't like the shape, but it's just, like, an odd... It's an odd shape in the hand. Odd hump profile compared to the Lamzu Atlantis Mini. Like, do a comparison of the shapes. I have the Sora and love it. Yeah, it's by no means a bad mouse, especially like under $100. And I don't think the lower end MCU actually makes like a noticeable difference in game. Have you tried the Sapphire Skates from Lamzu? No, I was kind of sad they didn't send me them because they sent me the mouse pad, Glass Skates, and the Mini. I thought they were going to send me a Sapphire Skates as well. But I might like just ask for those or buy those. But honestly, Sapphire Skates are just like one of those things that I've never been a big fan of. Gun to your head, Glass Skates or Glass Pad? I'd probably say Glass Pad. Actually, I don't know about that. That's like a good question. Could be like Glass Skates when they're in that good phase. Yo, thoughts and prayers with the $5. Can you show the Viper Mini SE next to the X2 Mini? I sure can, man. I sure can. I'll give you all the profiles for that generous donation. But yeah, here it is from the front. And then the side. Viper Mini is a lot more like, it's like flat in general. Ditched my glass pad for a can of Pledge. That's real. Just Pledge on the desk. That's the best glide you can get. Lamzu Atlantis and GPX have similar shapes? Not really. Do Lamzu clicks still feel perfectly tensioned after some use on the Mini? Yeah, they do. At least on my copy. Has he discussed opponent Stormbreaker? I have, but there's just not much to discuss. Like, there's only renders of it. It's on paper. It's a magnesium mouse with like a cheese grater design. It's ergo. I just wouldn't recommend pre-ordering it. That's really all there is. Did you try Lamzu Thorn? It's not out yet. It's not going to be out for a few months still, as far as I know. But apparently there is some Chinese mouse that's available on Mech Keys. That's like a early prototype version of it. It's only available in the Chinese market, but you can like still buy one. Do you know when the next signature edition drop is? No, I don't. But I saw the Razer CEO like tweeted out saying don't buy it because they have more coming, but they didn't really say a date. So I don't know how soon that is. It should be soon though. Death Adder V2 still have disconnecting issues. I have no idea. Probably not. I would err on the side of no, but I don't know. Aftermarket skids fix the wobble on the OG Atlantis. My thoughts would fix it. What the hell? It says OBS reconnection successful. Did my stream like go down or something? How does the Vaxi XE compare to the Death Adder V3? Wait, what the hell? Lagged for a second? Okay. How's Vaxi XE compared to Death Adder V3? I feel like Death Adder V3 is slightly too big. Yeah, it will feel slightly smaller and just like less bulky in hand, but it's still going to be a large mouse for like palm and relaxed claw. I'd say it's a good option. Stream buffered for 1 second. Verizon's going to be getting a call about that. Can't be having that. Would you recommend Ponge Sim 2 for a cheap lightweight mouse, or are there better options? I would say there are better options. What's that price at now? Is it still like $80? I don't think it's a bad price, but I just don't think it's a really groundbreaking mouse. I feel like you're better off getting like a $33.95 option under $100. Waiting for your review of the Jules HTX. Yeah, I'm trying to get that out as soon as possible. That's why I decided to have someone send me one instead of going with G-Wolves. Best mouse to buy if money isn't an issue for big hand, low weight, and build quality are important. I would say probably Death Adder V3 Pro. It's just the answer I give most people. Yo, upgraded Lemonade with the $5 new updates. Apex, Overwatch, or Warzone? I'm going to try Apex after the stream. I heard the Warzone update was really bad. And Overwatch, I don't know if they could do an update that would bring me to that game. But yeah, I've just been playing like everything. I downloaded Diabolical recently. Found out how dead that game was trying some other arena FPSs. I just always wind up coming back to Fortnite, and that game's not in a good place. So hopefully now I can finally get sucked into Apex. Maybe I'll just gaslight myself into liking it. You can get a Series 1 Pro, but can you really get a Series 1 Pro? Like, do they sell them? Do you think the Harp is good besides the price? It's just, it doesn't feel great. And I feel like the price is like a big thing. Like it's even, is it $150 or is it even more expensive than that? I mean, I think the Harp is good, but it's just hard to say it's like better than a Death Adder V3 or something like that. When's the Board ZX2 coming? March 17th. It's continually gotten delayed, but I have faith on that date, for that date. Best mainstream mouse? I mean, top tier Razer and Logitech offerings. It's hard to say they're like better mainstream mice than that. What's up with Padsmith being sold out? They just work in like limited batches to begin with. They have an upcoming drop that they sent me. I don't know what happened with that though. Like how soon it's going to be coming out. Series 1 Pro and Max Gaming still? Surprising. But like if they run out of units, then it's like, where do you get it then? Do you think Tiger Ice is better than core pads on the SkyPad 3.0? I would say core pads are just better because they're thicker and you get 2 sets. In terms of the actual glide, I don't think you're going to... Like, the only thing you're going to notice is that Tiger Ice are going to be slightly faster and also slightly thinner, so they wear out quicker. You ever play Rust? Yeah, like around a year, probably more than a year ago, like my friends got really into Rust, but it's like such a time commitment. That's what it feels like, at least. It's not like something you can just like hop on, like get into ranked and then just like leave. It's just not how a game works. It's like Minecraft. Best portable Bluetooth mouse you recommend to a student gamer? I would recommend the Razer Orochi V2 for that because like that's just kind of how it was made. It's like a gaming mouse that's also good if you just need it on the go. Like has batteries and shit, Bluetooth. It's kind of the perfect option. It's like, what is it now, $40? What do you think about the Pulsar Haste shape and Haste 2? I mean, I think it's a pretty standard, like, flat. It's not like a very curvy shape. It's decent for, like, not high profile on the back, but it's still decent for claw. But the Pulsar Haste 2, I don't know what to think about it, because I just don't know when it's going to be releasing. Yeah, Rust is 24/7. Yeah, that's like the thing about it. Favorite mini mouse? Never tried one. I would say like Atlantis Mini, X2 Mini. Those are good to start with. Viper Mini, obviously, if you want like wired on a budget. Bro, you should do vids as well with new mice or mousepad, AimLab or Kovacs. Review vids as well. What do you think? What do you mean? Just like a video that's just me aim training with new like mice and shit? That like could work on a second channel. I just like don't know how many people really want to watch it. I guess more people would want to watch me aim than not watch me aim though. So, greetings from Germany. What is up, Germany? What part of Germany? So, how's your last legend DPI button rattle? Not as far as I can tell, but that was not a really deep dive into it. Yo, Nick Jinx with another $2. X2 Mini, crazy double click. You recommend Starlight 12? I mean, I think the Starlight Small is a good shape upgrade from the X2 Mini. But if you don't want to spend that much money on a mouse, you could go with Atlantis Mini or something. Near Cologne. Shout out to Cologne. Should pay a female hand model to model the gaming mice. In what capacity? Like, what would I do with the modeling? Will you ever upgrade your monitor to a 1440p 360Hz one? I was thinking more OLED 240Hz, but I was going to make that decision today and just finally get a new monitor. Because honestly, having the same monitor for like 18 months, it's just not the move. Especially when it's not a great monitor. In bed with my girlfriend watching the Boardsy stream. Not much better to watch in that scenario. We would love seeing you game. Okay, so I just don't feel like I'm going to be posting like aim training videos on my main channel. But after a stream, I'm going to make a Boardsy gaming channel. When are we going to start blaming Kale instead of Pulsar? Yeah, I've always said to blame. I mean, because Final Mouse had the same issue and people are blaming Final Mouse. And the problem is like, Kale did not plan for the 8.0s to be used by like every single fucking company. So they just had to produce a ton of them. And the quality control kind of slipped up. So I just find it funny when people like blame each company. Like, it's kind of just Kale. What are your thoughts on the Ultralight X new 29-gram Final Mouse? I like it a lot. I like that they're also going to be doing the large like Air 58 size or something like that. That's going to be under 40. And they plan to keep it under $200 supposedly with 4K Hertz polling, right? So have you decided on the LG OLED or the Asus 1440p 360Hz? No, I haven't. And it's just like, I might fucking flip a coin or something because it's just hard for me to decide on it. Like, that's my new monitor. I'm not going to return that. It's such a hassle. I got to make the right choice. Do you think Pulsar is the best emerging mouse company? I mean, their lineup for the next year looks very promising. G-Wolves, they have like, G-Wolves has crazy potential. Lamzoo has a lot of potential. Lamzoo hasn't really missed yet. They just need to like make more mice. I think the Thorn's a good idea. They need to get into 4K Hertz. But yeah, Pulsar, it's hard to compete with what they have coming up this year. Will there be a Boardsy mousepad? There should be. The original Boardsy pad idea got scrapped, sadly, but I am big into the idea of making products. Do you know Tiago Tech? Yeah, I actually went out to a dinner with him. He came out to New York City. Wait, I'm gonna find the picture just because that's so funny. But yeah, that was back in late December, I'm pretty sure. Here it is. We went to Virgil's in New York City. If anybody knows, anybody in the city knows where that is, we got some nice barbecue. Yeah, Tiago Tech, big Spanish reviewer. Have you touched the Vaxi wireless since the video? Yeah, I think one time when I was comparing it to the Wise Owl OGM Pro, but that was really it. I've only plugged it in one time that I can remember. Would you go on a date with Rocket Jump Ninja? Absolutely. I would literally, if Rocket Jump Ninja like followed me on Twitter, I would just book the first flight I could to Australia. Just be like, "What's up, Arjan? Good pal." Watch Optimum Tech's video comparing the Asus 360 and LG OLED. I tried both and kept the Asus. I watched his video on that, and I feel like I was still stuck. But you tried both and kept the Asus. I've just like, I don't know. I'm kind of like being marketed hard by the OLED. Like, I just want to see what that's about. But I have it on 360 Hz forever. Viper Mini Signature Edition shape about the same as the Starlight Medium? Nah, not really. What's the best mouse for monster size hands? I've never heard anybody say the Death Adder V3 Pro is too small for him. Wood and case swap worth it? Not really. I was thinking about making a long-term video on it, being like, you guys really don't need to do this, because I also swapped the springs. I'm sure a lot of people are just wondering, like, if it's worth it to mod the wooting. I'd be like, it's really not if you're a gamer. But if you want to make the experience slightly better, I would recommend getting something besides the Blade 60 case, because that shit, it literally just feels the same, if not worse, than stock. What's that black ergo behind the Starlight Pro? It is the Zowie EC2 wireless, the greatest mouse of all time for CSGO and CSGO only. Yeah, nothing more to say. I've had the springs to the side and just not bothered swapping them for like 2 months. Yeah, you don't really need to. If anything, it's just like, it doesn't even make it that much noticeably better on 0.1 actuation. My issues with mice tend not to be the size, but keeping my hand cool. What do you mean by that? Like, they don't keep your hand cool? You need that mouse with a fan in it that I reviewed like back in 2020. Is Saturn Pro all right for tracking an Apex Overwatch? It seems a bit slow. I mean, of course. Like, think about, like, realistically, you can track with a GSR in games like that. It's just wouldn't be ideal, but the Saturn Pro is definitely going to be fast enough. Best mouse there for fingertip grip? I would say for, like, me, I have a lot of good fingertip grip mice on my desk right now. I would say first choice would I don't know if it's just because I've been testing it so much, but it would probably be a Viper Mini Signature Edition, followed by Last Legend, followed by X2 Mini, followed by the Atlantis Mini. Atlantis Mini, X2 Mini, it's really just like a toss-up. I don't know which one I prefer between those. What do you think of the Lamzu Sapphire skates? Unfortunately, I've never had a chance to try them, but I'm not a big fan of Sapphire skates. How much are they, though? If they're cheap, they could be like worth testing out, but I don't know. Wait, are they like full-sized Sapphire skates, not just dots? That's interesting, actually. I didn't even think about that. Just sold my M2K for $800. Are you kidding me? That is wild. Love my Viper Mini Signature Edition's education discount was crazy. I did not know you could use the education discount. I should have plugged that in the description of my video. I used to be big into those. Save people a lot of money with the Razer education program. I think they're like $30, and yeah, big oval things. Oof, $30 is a lot. Like, I just don't know if I recommend glass skates at that price. Is $80 USD worth it for a G Pro wireless? The standard wireless, no. The Superlight, I would say so. They're $30. I wouldn't go with them personally. Like, if I was ordering a Lamzu mouse, I would not add those on for $30. But if you're interested in trying them out, go for it. Any word on the XM2W? The standard W now. You're just permanently waiting for that mouse. But the XM2 Wii, I don't know when they're going to restock it, but I should finally be getting a unit not from Endgame Gear by the end of this week. Will there be a Death Adder V3 Mini? It makes too much sense for there not to be, in my opinion, but it's just a matter of when. And I don't know if it's going to be exactly soon. What do you think about Atlantis Mini Black Drop on the 20th of February? Well, I did not know about it until I read your comment. I was getting a lot of questions about that, and I just didn't know if it was confirmed, but should be great. I mean, the black version, the black coating is a lot better, so dope. It's a lot of material though, $30 a bit much, but they're also pink and cool. Yeah, no, I don't doubt that, but yeah, I just think of $30 for glass skates. I'm just like, Is it worth it to buy grips if you feel like you need them? Just by default buying grips for a new mouse, I wouldn't say is like necessarily worth it. Razer did a mini for the V2, so I assume a V3 mini must exist at some point. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well. And it's like, it is a big, the Death Adder V3 Pro is a big mouse, so having a mini version, it's even just like a standard medium-sized mouse, makes a lot of sense. Especially because they have to appeal so much to the Asian market, which has smaller hands, as we know, because that's why they made the Death Adder V2 Mini, originally launched in Asia, and people complained in the West, and then they launched it here, and everybody's like, this shit sucks, it's too small. How big is the jump from 3370 to 3395? Really, between a well-implemented 3370 and an average 3395 implementation, you won't be able to tell a difference. I just got Pulsar X2 Mini Bruce Lee Edition. It feels like I have aimbot. It's the new mouse buff. It lasts for around a day. Then you need a new mouse. What are your most hyped mice coming out soon? Definitely the new Final mouse. Pulsar's entire lineup. I'm excited to actually get the XM2 Wii and the Jules HTX. Probably more so the HTX. But yeah, aside from that, like in terms of mice I actually have confirmed release dates, I can't think of any. Is the XM1 not viable anymore since the X2 and Atlantis are out? Just a standard wired XM1, I wouldn't recommend buying too much necessarily, especially because they have the XM2 Wii, which is just a wireless 3370 XM1 for like, what is it, $80? So it's like a $10, $20 difference. Everyone like the stream. True. Make sure to press that like button on the stream. Bro, you think mousepad... that wording is just so weird. I answer in my video, just like go with whatever you can get for cheaper between Pulsar and SkyPad. Pulsar needs to fix quality control. On what? The X2? Are there still QC issues with the X2 for the black and white versions? As far as I know, with the clicks, like the mold has been addressed, and those were the bulk of the QC issues. I would like to see them like update the coding and the switches though. But I mean, might be hard to do that and keep the price point, not sure. Will the Death Adder V3 Pro be suitable for me? I have 18 by 10 hands, claw grip. It should be, man. I bet it would. Alternative for Aqua Control to Sakura with a bit more control? Oof. I would say, what is it? It's just a different, it's like the Aqua Control Plus 4mm. Go with that, without a design on it, and that should be a bit more controlled. Update on other Atlantis mini variants. Somebody in my chat said that they're going to be making a black one and dropping that on the 20th of February in like 5 days, so potentially coming soon. Watch Frame Chaser's vid on Asus 360 Hz and OLED. Oh, so now I gotta watch another guy's vid. Let's see that. Let's go to Frame Chaser. I'm not gonna watch it now, but queue it up for when I'm done streaming, because I'm making this decision today. Oh wait, no, Frame Chasers. Didn't that guy shit on peripheral reviewers? I'm not watching him. Hope you had a nice Valentine's Day, King. I appreciate that. I was just cool in Picata. Put blue shell pink dots in my X2. Flawless. Yeah. That is, that's basically the Boardsy edition. You got it right there. Just no design, no seal of approval on the bottom. But yeah, I tested basically every type of mechanical switch you can think of. Kale offerings, TTC Gold, Swano offerings, and I settled on blue shell pink dots. The implementation just feels really nice. Are you testing XM2W? Not at the moment, but I'm literally getting it by the end of this week. I'll make a post when I do. Because, man, I'm just so pissed that Endgame Gear could not get me a mouse. Why is the Extra Fry M8 not getting much love, especially for smaller hands? I mean, I just didn't like the mouse. I talked with Bad Seed Tech in person. We talked about it, and we were like, man, it just wasn't a great mouse for people with big hands. So I don't know. Maybe if you do have smaller hands, it's good, but I just found it to be a really not worthwhile design. Like, the way it curves down is just so aggressive and bad. Transparent, it's the old... that's actually a good question. It's just a matter of what the factory had at the time of production. Could be the old one. I'll get a clarification on that by the time I actually post my review of my edition, though, Drew. What's the best variant of the Artisan Zero? I would say X-Soft or Soft is best. If you're scared like you press too hard for X-Soft, just go with Soft. Hey, Boardsy, hope things are going well. Yeah, things are going immaculately. having a bit of trouble getting the newest mouse releases, but what a problem to have in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, just cool and talking about mice on the internet. What more could I ask for? What's a better mouse than a G Pro Superlight? I mean, you can argue that Razer's like Viper V2 Pro, Death Arrow V3 Pro are objectively a bit better, but I don't know, G Pro Superlight's still at the top of the game. Endgame has to respect you. Yeah, I feel like they do. They sent me review units in the past. It's just they hadn't made a mouse in so long, they just forgot what it's like. Like, oh shit, we have to send units to the reviewers as well. You enjoying the Lamzu Atlantis? I'm loving mine, thanks to your review. Yeah, I still think I have the Mini on my desk right now. I'm looking forward to the black Mini version with the better coating. I think Lamzu's a pretty dope company. It just came out of nowhere. Thoughts and prayers with the $5. Is Vadsy Tech's beard as glorious in real life as it is in the videos? Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Can tell that it's a well-maintained beard. How's your little puppy doing? He's good. He's getting bigger. Hold on, I'll show a picture of him. I took this good picture the other day of him and the other dog. I was like, wow, nice family photo. Fuck. My phone's like showing me one of those like movies. For how long they didn't make a mouse? It has to, it was like well over a year. Okay, yeah. Here is my puppy. He is looking fantastic. I need Saturn Pro so bad. I can't believe it's delayed for multiple more months. When I saw that, my jaw like actually dropped. Like apparently they just can't secure the actual Poron. I don't know what's going on. I need to like, it's crazy. Does the Saturn Pro feel muddy at all? Nah, mine has been through so much. I've never washed it and it still feels like perfectly consistent. So I can definitely vouch for the durability on the Saturn Pro. Eating steak, pie, and chips watching your stream. That's sounds like a vibe. So on Lamzu Mini versus HTX for Relaxed Claw. Just wait till I have the HTX. I'll answer that in my video about it. But Lamzu Mini, pretty good for Relaxed Claw as long as you don't have a huge hand. How do companies not release a new design over a year? Like, do they let... I have trying to understand endgame gear in specific. It's just, it's not worth trying. But yeah, I don't understand how they had like the wired XM1 and then it's taken them like multiple years to get the wireless versions out and like a new shape isn't even on the horizon. Apparently, like it actually is with a mini version, but it's crazy. Saturn Pro 9 till the end of June. God damn. End of June. It's mid-February. That's crazy. They should just make a new version that doesn't use authentic Poron. They could probably get that out before then. End of June. That's like basically when next Boardsy Fest is coming up. How big is the size difference between GPX and the Starlight 12 Mini? I can just show you that. It's a massive difference, though. This was a comparison I made back whenever Starlight originally released. I'm like, wow, this is a significantly smaller thing. Yeah, you can see GPX bulkier, higher profile, longer, wider. It's just bigger. You don't even have the HTX yet? No. Fellow reviewer Chad Alt Delete is sending me his personal copy because I don't know, just not clouded enough for review units. What more can I say? Is Lamzu Mini battery life comparable to X2 Mini? Feel like both are on the shorter side. Yeah, I mean both seem fine for me, but they are both 3395s with Comp-X MCUs. It doesn't seem like they would be any different. When do you think they'll be coming out with the Viper Mini wireless? It doesn't look like it's going to be until the summer. Damn, lots of things aren't coming out till the summer. That just means the summer is going to be big. Want to get the HSK Pro, but can't decide 5 grams extra weight's worth it? Also, their QC customer service guy, Jim, is a bit sketch. I mean, I talked to Jim. He doesn't seem sketch to me, but he did have that public drama with fresh reviews. I don't think that's really worth not buying it over, but yeah, I would just wait for like... Oh, wait, no, you said HSK Pro, not even HTX. Yeah, I don't know about the I would say it's probably not worth it. I'd say get the cheaper and 1K hertz version. Do you have a top 5 recommendations for fingertip mice? No, but I mean, a lot of my recommendations are on, I mean, I guess I do. Just look at these mice on my desk right now. Probably one of them will be suitable for fingertip for you between the Viper Mini Signature Edition, Starlight 12, X2 Mini, and Lamzo Atlantis Mini. I guess I could make a top 5 fingertip grip mice video so easily. I would just need to get like one more. Checks, potentially that could be coming soon. Kai with the $2 Canadian. Main differences between Saturn Pro and OG Saturn. I made a video, like my Saturn Pro video, I did a direct comparison, but it's mainly slightly better stitching, improved pour on base, softer like X soft foam. I do have the same sizes and colors in both. It's just like a more premium version of the OG Saturn. Top 5 for each grip style? Yeah, for sure. That would be. I would have to do 3 different parts though. Got to milk it out. A top list for each grip style could be a good one. Yeah, you know it. So, yeah, that's a series that I could very well make. And the market's in a good place where it's like, I don't think there are going to be too many more crazy options coming out to like shake it up. X2 battery went from 55 to 0 in 1 hour. See, I've never had shit like that happen on my batteries. Like, people who have like QC issues with batteries, I have no idea. But also, like, I feel like a lot of people trust the battery counters in the apps when they're not that accurate. So, I don't know what to think. Bro, recommendations for Lowe's Lancy keyboard. Wooting, obviously, not too easy to get your hands on. Apex Pro. Like, the standard Apex Pro TKL is down to $120. And, I mean, I just feel like that is a godsend price. Like, it's beating inflation. Would Atlantis Mini be an upgrade over the Orochi V2? I believe so. Yo, Sheldon Nichols with the $1. Thank you so much, man. Top 5 mice for palm grip video. Gonna go nuts. Can't wait to make that. My Aria malfunctioned after 3 days. I'm thinking about buying a Atlantis Mini. Is the Atlantis shape a little bigger? It's a totally different shape. It will feel, I'd say, larger in your hand just because the Aria is like such a curved egg shape. Well, the Atlantis, like, there's definitely some substance in the back, even though it is a pretty, like, thin, smaller end mouse. Sweaty hands. Do you think I should get the Viper Mini Signature Edition? I mean, I don't think the coating is too bad, but it's definitely, like, it's not a rubbery, grippy coating. It's on the, like, more metal-y feeling side. But it does come with grips in the box, which definitely would fix it. So I would say sweaty hands should not deter you from that, if that's, like, the only thing you're concerned about. Pulsar software battery level is not accurate. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I honestly don't even think about the battery. Just once your shit dies, plug it in. I don't know how pragmatic that is, but yeah. Max Gaming still got the Saturn Pro? Really? I didn't know that. Will you put any time into testing the Gorilla Glass skates to see how they compare to Super Glides? Yes, I am in the process of doing that. But what I didn't know until I looked it up the other day is that Gorilla Glass is the same thing as Illumino silicate glass. It's just like a different term for it. So there's that, and they're pretty similar to the Super Glides, I've noticed. So yeah, I haven't noticed them slow down or anything like that yet, and they're not coated with like a custom design, so maybe they're gonna last for a while. Have you heard about the new Ajaz AJ199? I heard Ajaz came out with a 3395 mouse, so I presume that's what you're talking about. I don't know the details, the specs, the weight. But yeah, I might look into reviewing that. Have you tried do you have the XM2 Wii? No, man, but I'm getting it by the end of the week. Actually, I got sent the tracking number, I think. So let's actually check in real time where it's at. Yo, Thomas with the $5. 1 second. I'm picking up a white GPX in a couple of days. Should I pick up new switches for it? If so, which switches do you recommend? Honestly, like, throughout the years, I've tried a lot of different switches on the GPX, and I'm just perfectly fine with the stock Omrons. But if you do go new switches, you could get like Quano blue shell pink dots, but I just honestly don't think it's worth all the trouble, like opening the mouse up, desoldering, unless you plan to do other mods. But like, I don't know, I'm just fine with the stock switches. Do you have the Hot ES? Yes, I do. Let's check this tracking now. Expected delivery February 17th. It's looking like Friday for the XM2W. It's in Florida right now. Did you do a Minecraft? What does that mean? What sense do you use in Valorant? Does 1600 DPI 0.3 make sense? It might be that. Caleb O'Brien, ZA13 versus Atlantis Mini shape-wise. Easy transition. The Atlantis Mini is definitely going to be a step down in terms of shape and just like overall high-profile nature. So I mean, it's an easy transition, especially if you like smaller mice, but don't expect it to feel one-to-one. Appreciate all of the super chats, by the way. Just ordered the source, super stoked. Have you had any issues with the polling rate? Nah, I've ran polling rate tests, and it seems to be consistent, hovering in the 990s. My GPX is so glossy. Yeah, I never had any of the original like coating decay on the GPX. I use that thing a lot. Have you checked out the X2 Mini Rotobox? Nah. I mean, I heard about it, but I just never bothered getting it. My edition's the only X2 worth talking about. Have you found your endgame shape or mouse yet? I don't think that exists. Like, there's not really... Like, there are many shapes that I've used that are like, okay, this is good enough to use forever, but it's like, you're always just going to get the newest thing. I'd say Death Adder V3 Pro is, like, pretty close to endgame. It's hard for me to think of anything that they could make, like, significantly better on that mouse. I've only seen the black GPX go shiny, never the white. I remember so many of the whites, like, the coating literally, like, came off. And it was like, endgame shapes are impossible. Yeah, that's like, companies have asked me if I want to collab on a shape. I just don't even know where to start. Because I don't want to just like slightly alter something that already exists. But just like going totally out on a limb and doing something different. I don't know if that works either. Should I get Pulsar X Lite V2 now or wait for V3? That's a good question, honestly. I would say wait for V3 if you're already like satisfied with the mouse. Yeah, exactly, Little. People who are like shape is king. I don't know about that. Just like use a different shape. Just get used to it. Thoughts on Claw on the Death Adder V3 Pro? I mean, it's what I use. It's a pretty good mouse for the grip style, in my opinion. But yeah, you can also like palm grip it really easily. What mouse pads would you recommend for GPX stock feet? Changing the stock feet, but in all seriousness, I mean anything. I don't really recommend mouse pads based on skates. You recommend skates based on mouse pad. That makes more sense. You can just get away with anything. Can you answer question mark or just ignore? I'm getting a lot of questions, and I'm just not seeing every one. Well, let me see your question. 18.5 by 10 cm pincer grip. My only contact with mouse is pinky knuckle. What should I buy? I don't know. Just lots of good options for medium hands with pincer grip. Maybe an Atlantis Mini. G Pro 3, is that true? It looks to be true. Did you see leaks of the Gpx V2? Yes. It does look... It looks real. I would like to see Logitech make it 4 or 8K hertz, lower the weight, have good battery life or some shit. Could be nice. Do you know anything about the X2 Mini internals? I want to swap the Bruce Lee internals into a black shell, but I don't know how involved that would be. I think you would be able to do that. Damn, is it really that serious though? Like, you just can't use the standard X2 or the standard Bruce Lee colorway? And you're going to be getting the worst coating? Just really hate that design. But yeah, I mean, I feel like that would work because the PCB is going to be the same size. I don't think any of the molding's different. Selling my Viper V2 Pro as we speak? No way. When will he be as good as RJN? I mean, he still has more... As long as he's alive, he's going to have more years playing Quake than I've been alive. So how do I compete with that? I can't, like, start, like, living... It's crazy to think about. How would you have felt yesterday evening if you hadn't eaten breakfast or lunch? Probably pretty poor. I probably would have been tired. It's not the color. I actually just like the black coating better. Well, yeah, I think you could do that. I don't think there would be any issues. Bruce Lee coating, best coating? I agree. It's like really top tier. Bornsey Edition has the same. I didn't even know it was going to have a coating until I got it in hand. I was like, wait, this is like rubbery and just way better. But I think the new design like forced them to, perhaps. Shout out Luigi's Pizza, you in South Slope. I literally, for the first 19 years of my life, I lived on 20th Street, literally like right around the corner from Luigi's. So it's the pizza I grew up with. Like, cool with the Geo. It's always nice to see people from Brooklyn. But no, I moved out to Sunset Park last year. Yeah, Luigi's is literally top tier pizza in New York City, no debate. Did you get an XM2E yet? No, but just 5 minutes ago I checked the tracking and it is in Florida, getting it on Friday. Because Endgame Gear, they were just like edging me with a unit. They were like, oh yeah, we'll send you one, don't worry. And then like a few weeks later, it's like, we never had review units. And I'm like, what the fuck? You a Knicks or a Nets fan? You know, I was so disappointed by the Knicks these past few years that I considered myself a fan of both. But after the Nets like blew up the franchise, I'm back to the Knicks. And yeah, the Knicks have Jalen Brunson. First time they've had a point guard in my entire life, so I'm riding the Knicks out. Do you know if Pulsar ES2 is coming out in all black instead of that Bruce Lee yellow? I mean, yeah, don't they have one already? They sent me one that was just a standard all black one, I think. You just passed my breakfast test, 130 IQ confirmed. Let's go. I'm happy to hear that. I don't even know what the test was, but I'm always happy to pass. Will you be testing a new Zaunkönig M2S when it releases? I will be. I just gotta talk to the owner of Zaunkönig, just see what he's cooking up. I'll definitely buy both of them. Knicks have been disappointing for decades. Yeah, that's why I allowed myself to be like, okay, I can enjoy the Nets as well. But then I just had to scurry out of the Nets. But yeah, I'm a Knicks, a Jets, and a Mets fan, so I've not been accustomed to winning. I don't think I've ever seen one of my teams win a championship. It's crazy to think about. ES1 is all black. ES2 I can't find. Oh, I'll check the units they sent me then. Because I might have had an ES1 all black. You ever use applicable mouse scripts? Like aftermarket mouse scripts I've used plenty of times. How often do you replace your mouse skates? Not too often. I rarely use a mouse enough to like really wear down a set of aftermarket skates that I put on it. The only mouse that I just have like no skates on is the Death Adder V3 Pro, because it's at this point I'm just scraping plastic every time I move the mouse, but it's like I just can't be asked to change it. It's weird. You know anything about new LGG Pro pads? What do you mean by that? Like new models? I'm not sure. They're like struggling to get pour on for the Saturn Pro, which is their biggest model. Black Bruce Lee is exclusive to content creators? It is. Nets are a hot mess. Like, they're a good defensive team, and they have a ton of picks, but they just fucked up that Big 3 era. Gaming mouse size guide idea, RJN 3.0 beta. I don't know, like, just freaking out over the size of mice. I don't know. Could do something like that. I was just thinking about more of a grip style guide, like the best mice for each grip style, something like that. Currently using the Pulsar X2, thinking of getting the Lamzu. Any thoughts? Could be a nice mouse if you're not satisfied with the X2. If you already like the shape, I don't know if you'll be getting too much more out of the Atlantis, but yeah. Are you from NY? Yes, I have lived here all my life. Brooklyn, born and raised. More like they screwed up by letting KD and Kyrie run the team. True. Yeah, when KD made that like ultimatum last year, I was like, okay, this guy's running the team. What do you do for a living outside of content creation? This is my source of income. This is my thing. Has anyone else experienced the scrolling down issue with the Lamzu Atlantis OG? Mine sometimes scrolls up when scrolling down. I might have had that on one of my copies. I think I had that on my wasn't the OG one. Nets or Knicks? X2 feels a little small. The standard size X2, then I would say the Atlantis could be an upgrade. Any new upcoming mouse leaks you are able to share? I mean, I guess I can show the Logitech one, because people have been asking about that. Fuck, where's the whale's Twitter? There it is. It's like shadow banned. It's weird. Give me free mouse? I'm going to do a mouse giveaway sometime soon, don't you worry. But yeah, this is supposedly the Gpx V3, not confirmed. You kind of look like Dream right now. I don't see that personally. Okay, you see that looks like a USB-C cutout. Look at that G Pro Super Heavy. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. New G Pro Super Heavy dropping. Wonder if they're going to make an Ergo one? Probably not. Why no more focals? Bro, I literally dropped them like 30 times and they eventually the headband snapped. I just have them sitting in a box. I want to sell them, but nobody wants to buy broken focals. Only really a few things to even update with the current Superlight. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like optical switches, 4K hertz or 8K hertz, USB-C obviously, and like aside from that, like I don't know, lower weight. LMAO, no, Logitech would never use Type-C. They already use it with the G502X, so it makes sense for them to swap it, like put it on the Superlight as well. I'd buy broken focals. Okay, taking you up on that. Is Viper Mini good for claw? It can be if you like smaller mice or have smaller hands. I'd say I prefer something with a bit more like width and hump presence for claw grip with my hand size. Wireless charging on mice is definitely the move going forward. Yeah, I mean, especially with like higher polling rate implementations, I think it's going to make a lot of sense. Were they clears? They were clears. Would the X2 maybe be a good alternative for a Starlight small in terms of shape? Yeah, I think it's my number one alternative when people are like, I have a Starlight looking for something else for fingertip, or I have a X2 Mini and I'm looking for something else. I'll like get a Starlight, if you know what I'm saying. Death Error V3 Pro creaks like crazy. Mine does this thing where it creaks like the first time I squeeze it, then it feels impeccable. So is yours the same, or is it just like totally creaky? Somebody pointed it out to me. They were like, does it creak after you squeeze it the first time? I'm like, no, it doesn't. So I don't know what that's about. The last mouse I had where creaking actually ruined it was the fucking MZ1. If anybody had those original batch MZ1s, those were just wild. I feel like GPX is okay for all grips, great for not. I think it's kind of great for claw grip. I don't know if I'm just using a different mouse than some people, but I don't know what about it is like bad for claw grip. It's not like it's a too wide of a mouse. You should replace your focal with HD 800s. Oof, is that Sennheiser? After the 58X, which was the worst headphone I ever owned, I don't know if I'm going to ever go back to Sennheiser. What did I try? I tried Hi-Fi Man Sundaras. And then I just went back to Biodynamic. They're my headphone brand of choice. I don't know what more there is to say. It's because you have gorilla hands? I don't deny that. Like, I definitely squeeze mice more than most people. It just allows me to speak on build quality better. I've had 2 Death Error V3 Pros with like a weird sticky right mouse button. I've had none of that. My clicks still feels like perfect since day one. Thoughts on Pulsar 2023 mice? Really good. Like, lots to look forward to. The esports series and shit. Speaking of it, is the MZ1 wireless still good? I don't think it's really worth the 120. Like, it's just not... It's not enough of an improvement. They need to, like, make a pro version, get rid of the RGB, get it lighter, just get it up to today's standards. Can the MM712 replace my ZA13? I don't know if you'll like it more. It's definitely a good alternative to the shape, though. A little bit smaller, wireless, obviously. I didn't have many problems with it, but I did hear like kind of mixed reviews on the MM712. Damn, getting a lot of, like, I swear, chat was just like kind of slow, and now I'm just getting like too many questions. Can't keep track of them. Best mousepad for playing all types of games? I had a few month phase where I was just using the Saturn Pro because it was just by far the best mousepad for like everything I was testing. So I'd say that's like a good all-around recommendation. The Hien is obviously a classic, using a red Hien right now. God bless Artisan. Yeah, what happened to Artisan? Weren't they going to do some type of new like pad, the RM series finally? Saw a new GPX leak? Yeah, I actually just showed that, the new molds and shit. Seems pretty nice. Any news on the proper, cheaper wireless Viper Mini? They said on Reddit, potentially the summer. And I just can't see it being any sooner than that, so maybe then, which seems like a long wait. Going to be waiting a while for a Saturn Pro to come back in stock? True. I can't even like recommend it. It's not coming back until late June. They better be getting like 1 million units. Because doesn't like fucking tens, like half of the Valorant players out there use it? Do you have an X-Lite V3? Nah, I have no idea when that's coming out. I'm still using an X10 control since release. It's so good, but so expensive. Man, X10, like, when they came out, that was crazy. $100 cloth pad. It is good. I wonder where my unit's at, actually. Scroll wheel tier list soon? I don't know if that's going to be updated, but just a standard mouse tier list is going to be coming soon. Measure hand on stream. No balls. I did. You can go back to my stream where I had the fucking Asus, the mouse pad with the ruler on it. I literally measured my hand. I was not capping. How's the quality on your Atlantis Mini? It's the same as it was in my review, which was really spot on. Lamsu's quality is just crazy to me because I've not heard like a single complaint about their like build quality being subpar in terms of like structure or really any click issues either. How are the glass gates on the Viper Mini Signature Edition? They're the same material that Super Glides are made out of, which I didn't know because they're just using like, Razer calls it Gorilla Glass, but it's aluminosilicate glass, which is the same thing as Pulsar uses. And yeah, they're just really fast. They're kind of the speed where you can't double click on things in Windows. At least that's how they feel at the start. And they have not really slowed down yet, but I'm just continuing to use them to see if there's any change in speed. But yeah, with the build quality, with the weight balancing, the overall low weight, it just makes the skates feel extra fast, I feel. Viper Mini Signature Edition is palm grippable with the holes too. I would not recommend palm gripping it unless you have small hands. For my hand size, it's just does not feel natural. LGG Saturn or Venus paired with the Viper V2 Pro? I would go standard Venus over standard Saturn, but like both are great. It just depends on what you're looking for, speed or control. Nobody talks about Vancer Caster. Why? I don't even think they ever publicly sold it. Like, it's just not a great mouse, but they're making the Pro versions pretty soon. Like it's just hard to compare the Vancer Caster to other top tier options. How would you compare a G703 to the Atlantis? I know they're different, but in terms of grip for relaxed quality, it's just like totally different. G703 is going to be a lot bulkier. It's an ergo mouse. There's a lot more like hump in the back of your hand. So I'd say the Atlantis, like, it'll probably work for your hand size. It's going to be a totally different feeling mouse. Opinion on Infinity Mice Dual Pad? I tried it, and it was just like a standard control surface. I can't think of anything else besides that. It had like a faux Poron base, but it wasn't completely flat out of the box for me, and I just never gave it too much time. Is that a water tattoo? No, it's much cooler. It's a I Survived Boardsy Fest stamp. Because I had to buy a stamp for my next event to help manage the lines better, and had to test it on myself, of course. Saw a post on Reddit of a Gpx V3 shell. Yeah, it does seem like that is actually true, but I don't know anything else about that beyond the posts online. Are you doing the RJN challenge, the small mouse thing? No. If he would have done the video with me, I would have, but I don't know about the point of that challenge. 1K versus 4K. Can you notice a difference? Yes. If you could shrink your hand by like 10% flawlessly, would you? No, I don't think so. I've never thought about that. Would I willingly shrink my hand if I could? Probably not. Does your Acer monitor do well with 4000 hertz? As far as I know, yeah. Not sure how polling rate would affect the monitor, but I am getting a new monitor soon, so I guess I'll have a better answer then. What do you think would have been a fair price for Viper Mini Signature Edition? I said in my video, $230 with 4K hertz and all of the accessories was like the upward limit that I would consider like a fair price, but $280 was hard. $250 even would have been better, but close to $300 for a mouse is wild. But they really did only do 1,300 units, so it's clearly like they're selling more fucking Death Adder V3 Pros every minute than they're making from all of those Viper Mini Sig units. 2K is the sensor sweet spot for performance and battery life. It definitely makes the battery life noticeably better, and it's going to feel better than 1K hertz polling, so you could consider it a sweet spot, but I don't think 4K hertz is too bad in all honesty in terms of battery life. GPW became 50, the original one? That makes sense. It's crazy that the Superlight's going to be that price eventually. How much bigger does Death Adder V3 feel than the GPX? A lot bigger. Have I ever made a video comparing them like head to head? I feel like I probably did. Or I might have included the Viper V2 Pro as well, but you can see it's just like a much larger ergo mouse. Didn't realize I wasn't caught up to live. Did you say you hated the Sennheiser 58X? What the heck? Yeah, man. They were my first like proper pair of headphones I tried, and I was just massively underwhelmed by it. Any new information on the Pulsar X-Lite V3? Do you know a meaning of size 1.5? I don't know, honestly, about that, but Pulsar X-Lite V3, I don't think there's any new info. I'm going to ask him when it's coming out, though, because that's interesting to me. What's your main mouse at the moment? I would say at the moment it's actually been the Viper Mini Signature Edition, because I've just been testing it a lot to, one, make a long-term review, and also test out the Razer Glass Gates. So I would say for the past like 2-3 weeks, that's been my main. Do you still use Lysol to clean your mouse pads? Yeah. Who cares about battery life? 12 hours is all I need. Plugging a mouse in every day is kind of crazy, but I don't know. Like, I'm willing to take a little hit on battery life for performance. Viper V2 Pro or wait for Gpx 3? I mean, if that sounds like you have a GPX from that comment, and I would recommend just waiting for the new GPX. If you don't have a GPX, though, I don't know, probably still wait. Do you think... God, now I'm just constantly getting questions about the GPX 3. I think it is real. No reason not to, really. Like, the shells are real. Looks like a USB-C mold. They're bound to come out with one at some point. Can't imagine they're going to change the GPX shape. I can't either. A mini version would be great to, like, drop alongside it, but it just seems like they have no interest in doing that. And that they've had that mold down for, like, fucking years, so... Might as well just keep pumping them out. What mouse is best to buy? Because for my birthday, please. Best mouse to buy for your birthday. I don't know. They're like, could get just like anything on my desk, really. Just whatever looks most appealing out of these mice and fits your price range and hand size. I would say just go for it, because those are what I consider top mice. So if you're not a big fan of the current GPX shape, a new version likely won't change that for you. Yeah, probably not, even though I wasn't a huge fan of the original G Pro wireless, and then I was hooked on the Superlight. So I'd say Logitech can always cook up some magic. When are they making a Superlight G703? I don't know. It makes no sense to me that they aren't. I made a video talking about that like a month ago or something. It's just crazy to me. Are the grips that come with the Lamsey good? They're too thick, in my opinion. I don't love them, but... they're not bad. $400 budget, help please? I mean, if you're looking to spend a good chunk of that on a mouse, you can go Viper Mini Signature Edition, Final Mouse Last Legend, like a $150 mouse. $400 really gives you any budget for a mouse. Do you also run into the issue of bumping into other mice on your desk while you play? No. When I play, I'll just pick up my mouse pad and the mice will sit back there in the dusty area. $3 mouse recommendations. Make sure to leave a like and sub. I'll be getting a $3 mouse video coming real soon. Logitech about to blow everyone away for next year. Yeah, people forget that. Like, Logitech has the potential to send the industry into like into an ice age. Does the source still have the seal of approval? Yeah. I bought the 80-gram G Pro a week before Superlight came out, so I have PTSD. That's tragic. My dream is to get a Final Mouse M with Razer 4K internals. That's a pretty feasible dream. I'm getting an Air 58 with 4K internals from Silent G. Should be getting that early next week. That's a exciting mouse. Superlight shows how weight can be a difference, since Superlight was the same shape as the original. Yeah, it was the same shape. It just felt so much better in hand than the original. And the coating does play a big factor as well. Do Arby's curly fries have the seal of approval? I just don't think there are Arby's in the city. I don't think I've ever been to an Arby's. New Final Mouse will have 4K anyway. Just buy that. True. Whenever that comes out. They said spring, I believe. Do you want mechanical or optical on the GPX 3? Probably optical. Just makes sense to switch to that. Have you played with the Xtrfy M4 since your review, or is it permashelved? It's permashelved, man. I think all Xtrfy mice are. There's not a single Xtrfy mouse that I've like plugged in the past few months, probably, or whenever I last reviewed the M8. What's your opinion of wrist rest for your mouse? Like those PTFE rests that you like, let's say your mouse is here, it's gonna be like a little thing there. I've never tried one. It seems really stupid, but could be game changing. I might have to try one. Thoughts on Final Mouse stock feet? They're really not bad. Most companies like stock feet. I don't know if it's just like the pads I'm using nowadays, but I just don't feel as inclined to switch to aftermarket skates if they're like thick, solid stock feet. OGM mouse worth picking up? I mean, it's a solid ergo option. I was really just surprised by it. And I saw they made a Twitter. It seems like they got the little traction from my review, and now they're like actually posting about their mice because they just came out of nowhere. I was like, what is this company? So it's like a decent ergo option. He and on the desk going back to your roots. Yeah, I don't know why, but once I stopped testing a Pulsar Super Glide pad, I was like, I just want to use some mouse pads I just want to use some classics. Lost almost all interest in new pads after Saturn Pro. That happened to me, but with reviewing new pads. I'm like, why would I review this? It's just not as good. Heard X2 Mini has some issues such as battery double clicking, etc. Battery, I've never had battery life like quality control issues, so I really can't speak on that. Double clicking is going to be on just the Kale switches, but they addressed like all of the click quality issues like squeaking and like getting stuck. So yeah, I don't know. I would not, especially if you're buying one of the new edition X2s, I don't think you should be too concerned. Nice. Are glass skates good on the Hien? Yeah, I mean, they're still, these glass skates have not slowed down like whatsoever yet, so it's very fast on the Hien. What company that doesn't make a mouse would you want to see enter the space? That's a really weird question. So, I'm trying to think of like peripheral companies who just like haven't ventured into mice that could. I would like to see like a big company make a good mouse. Let's like pretend that SteelSeries, Corsair, like fucking all of those companies just don't actually make mice. I would like to see them get in the scene and make a good one. Samsung mouse? Yeah, you could say like Samsung, Apple, the Tesla mouse. What if Wooding made a mouse? That's true. That's probably the best answer. Pretend I said that. Wooding. Wow. Artisan mouse? I remember I read through this long-ass interview with the CEO of Artisan. He said he would never make a mouse. So I don't know if that's going to happen. Have you ever swapped mouse switches yourself? Is it easy? Yeah, I did. Back, like, before, like, when I was early into reviewing, I swapped switches in a G-Wolves mouse, Cooler Master MM710, and I did it, like, one time after that. But I just don't think it's really worth it. It's not too hard to, like, solder and desolder switches. It's just, like, is it worth the process? In most cases, it's not. But if you have like a quality defect, I would say do it. S2 wireless when? I have no idea when Zowie's actually going to make wireless mice. Besides their like EC series. Man, Artisan needs to branch out some more. They should do accessories and just make updated lines of their mouse pad, but I don't know if they're gonna. Zowie fell off hard? Is that true? Like, I mean, they are entering the wireless mouse scene. It seems like the people who are into Zowie mice, like, are fucking with that. They have the new 360 hertz panel. Like, I feel like they're where they want to be. Like, the Zowie fans are still going to be a fan. They're still going to buy the products. They're just not trying to appeal to anyone new. Gotta check out the Delta Hub wrist rest. I will then. If people are saying it's worth trying, might as well post a review on it. Doesn't Artisan sell mouse feet? They technically do, but they haven't been in stock since I started making videos on them like 3 years ago, so I don't really consider them to be real products. Top 3 mouses for claw grip and small hands. I'm literally going to be making top 5 for claw grip, top 5 for fingertip, top 5 for palm grip, so stay tuned for that video. I will definitely answer that in detail then. Are all of the mice on your desk plugged in? Nah, there's only like 2 that are plugged in. There's the Starlight and the Atlantis Mini, and I guess the Viper Mini wireless as well. Plugged a few in for the stream. But yeah, no, I don't recommend gaming with like many mice plugged in at the same time. If Zowie isn't getting newcomers, then I think that's bad business. But they're just like, they're not trying to be like they're not trying to compete with like Logitech and Razer as a brand that people are gonna get when they're going for just a new mouse. It is like it's a weird model though. How sturdy and strong is the Starlight? I mean, mine is solid build quality. My biggest complaint with them had always been the Ultim base just not sitting perfectly with the rest of the shell. Will you ever review Keychron's mouse? I will, since people are asking about it, but it's not good. People just think like $33.95, $50 like it's good, but really it's like 88 grams. Doesn't seem Doesn't seem promising. Do you know why 1080p on a 1440p monitor feels bad? I don't. I've never had a 1440p monitor, but now I'm getting 240 hertz OLED, so it's going to be a big change. What's your vibe in the Viper Mini now that's been hand for more than a few days? At the time of review, I had still been, like, I had gotten good testing on it, but I would say I just really like it for fingertip. Still play Fortnite, unfortunately. For claw grip, like, I still do have a slight problem with the holes, but when I play fingertip, I really just, it's hard to have anything to complain about. It's a premium ass mouse. AO board Z5, the normal Saturn is moving a Pro worth it? It could be. Like I say in my video, that it kind of is, but just getting a Pro is not going to be easy. It's not going to restock until late June, I've heard. So, thoughts on Endgame Gear XM Mini? I don't even have an XM2 yet, so it's not even worth thinking about. They gotta restock the XM2 Wii. They gotta make the XM2W, like actually give that to people, and then they can get to a new shape, I suppose. Was your copy numbered? Nah, my copy literally, it said Signature Edition Boardsy. So I think all the reviewers, they like wrote out their names. Go Pro in Apex then? I'm going to try out the new Apex update. I'm hoping I can get like sucked into the game, but I really doubt I'll be playing it like daily. When do you think cheaper Viper Mini will release? Not for a few months at the minimum. Looking like summer. Do you have dual or single monitors? I have 2 monitors. But I don't know if I'm going to go for a third monitor. Like, I could, but... Can you talk about sensors a bit? I'm on a 3095. Damn, a 3095 since forever. How many years is that? Basically, just every sensor spec is better with the newer options. And some sensors enable, like, you can run higher polling rates. It's like a 3395, 3950. Yeah, it's crazy. Sensor tech has come a long way. Like, anything older than a 3310, I would is like borderline unusable, I would say. Yes, yes, little Boardsy Don. What does that question mean? Any good mouse options for lefties? I mean, the standard Viper Ultimate G Pro wireless are good. Pulsar's coming out with an ambi option at some point. Do a partnership with Fade? I've heard of Fade. I don't know what type of partnership could be done though. Rear of XM1R is too big. Is the A1 going to be my ally? It could be, honestly. It's a bit smaller than the XC even, but yeah, if the XM1R was too big, the LA1 should be cool. Kind of ZA inspired. Why is Boardsy gatekeeping a G703 Superlight? I wish I had a G703 Superlight to gatekeep. I wish Logitech ever acknowledged my existence. But I've like given up on getting their review units. I can't even get review units from like community-based companies. Shit's crazy. Thoughts on the use of a 3335 on a mega budget mouse? If it's like wireless available for $30, it is what it is. I just don't really recommend going with it. Is the top of your monitor at eye level? It is. My main monitor, at least. My camera is like in a really weird place on my other monitor, so people always ask me why I don't look into it, and it's just like, it's a scuffed position. Does the Vaxi XE wireless have a smaller grip width than the Superlight? You're too small for Logitech? You think that, but I remember the fucking G502X, like they were sending it to YouTubers who had like 8K. Like there was like some toy review channel who got it. So it's just like, it's just a matter if their marketing department reaches out to you. Use NVIDIA iTech? I saw that and I just like, I don't want to. It just seems like weird. Best mouse bungee at the moment? I still think it's either Razer V3 if you need it for like a thin cable or the Lunar Dial bungee. I haven't been following the mouse bungee market though. To be honest, what's the point of buying the Viper Mini Signature Edition? You can buy 3 Pulsar X2s. I know a mouse is good, but is it worth $280? Nah, it's like, see, that's the thing. It's never going to be worth $280, but it's just, if you want to experience the crazy Signature Edition, could be worthwhile. Yo, Mr. Root, becoming a member. Welcome to the Epic tier, man. I appreciate that. not too many people become members because they're like, what do I gain from this? But not you, Mr. Root. Appreciate that. What's the most disrespectful thing a brand has done in dealing with you? Just like ghosting me after a bad review. Just like really taking a bad review personal. And yeah, I actually can think back to multiple companies who have done like the same thing. Where it's like you make a negative review and they take it really personal. They want to like hop on a call with you. And I'm like, well, why? But yeah, it's not disrespectful. It is in a sense because they're like, I know more about my product than you do. Like, why are you disrespecting it? But yeah, I don't really take the company drama too personally. Try not to, at least. Does Endgame Gear not send you mice for review? I was under the impression I was getting one, but I was just tired of waiting because it had been literally over a month. So I just bought one from somebody who had bought one in the US. I think it's hilarious when brands take offense to bad reviews. Yeah, it's always a really bad look when they do it publicly. Like on Reddit, it's just like, as a brand, you gotta have some awareness not to do that. But it's always good drama. Yo, Josh, with the $2 other than G703, what's your next pick for a V2/redo? From Logitech, it would have to be G305. But in terms of like other mice, it's a good question. It's a shape that I think could be put. I don't know. I feel like a Death Adder V3 Mini is a good idea. I don't know if that really counts. I feel like it does. How does LeBron cementing himself as a GOAT affect the industry? I don't know how it affects gaming mice. What is LeBron's impact on gaming mice? I feel like mice have gotten a lot better since LeBron entered the league. So I think him becoming the GOAT means that we're going to see the GOAT of mice pretty soon. I bet all the Viper Mini mains were pissed when the Signature Edition dropped. Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess that. The Viper Mini. Getting a proper like redo in plastic wireless form would be big. Hey Boardsy, if I have the high Totsu, is it worth it to get the Raiden or the Pulsar Super Glide? I would say a glass pad. It's just gonna be a totally different experience, and I prefer the feeling of a textured hybrid pad like the Otsu. But the Raiden could be nice if you're looking for something smoother and faster. Can't really go wrong though. Any QC issues with your Pulsar X2? Like my personal, like the collab edition one? Nah, not on my copy. And the reason it's been delayed for so long is because they needed to fix the like molds, so there wouldn't be any clicks squeaking or shit like that. Do I go with Death Adder V3 or an X2? My GPX is going bad. Zimballer for you, I think you should get a Death Adder V3 Pro. I think it would be a comfortable ass mouse that you could put years of use on. Since Saturn Pro is out of stock, what would be a similar alternative? The Artisan Zero Soft, X Soft, is easily the closest alternative. But besides that, I would just recommend like a $30 Saturn. Logitech stopped releasing new mice. They're releasing them, they just aren't the mice we want. But it looks like there is actually a leak for Gpx V3 coming out soon. If I had $1 for every time Boardsy said well, sometimes I'm just like looking at chats, like I have to read through like 5 before I get one that I can actually answer, and I just don't want to be silent the whole time. Should I go for Atlantis or GPX? Really can go with either. If you're a fan of the X-in-1 shape, I would say the Atlantis is a bit more direct, but GPX, just like the safest mouse in the world. When are you going to do a review on the SpongeBob setup? I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to make a YouTube review of it. Think wired mice have a comeback after people don't like battery life on high polling rates? No. Why wouldn't they just go back to battery life on a like lower polling rates? Like just lower the polling rate. I think wired mice, it's hard for wired mice to make a comeback at this point. Thoughts on wooden mouse pads? Is there really a market for it? Like just using your desk as a mouse pad? I don't know how ideal that is. Because like it's just gonna eat up PTFE skates, you know. Did you get the HTX 4K? Is it close to Final Mouse 10s? No, but I should be getting one early next week, I would imagine, sometime soon, because once again, similar to Endgame Gear, just could not get my hands on a review unit. I don't know what is up, but I'm doing my best to acquire one. Lamzu Make Mousepad. Check it. I actually have it already. They sent me it, and it's pretty cool. It's like close to the Raiden. I'm thinking about maybe I'll review the Lamzu Energon and the Pulsar ES2 and ES1 in the same video. Just get the most bang for my buck in terms of mousepad content. God, dude, my nose is so itchy. It's crazy. What do dot skates on the Lamsey feel like? I actually have not used them yet, but I would imagine they feel pretty similar to other dot skates. I'm eating Chinese tonight. Nice, man. Tips for living alone at 19. Have a lot of a lot of money is probably the best advice I could give. If it's not necessary, probably don't do it. Thoughts on the last legend? It's just the last drop of the Starlight. Not too. I don't have any like strong opinions. It's an updated coating, Omron switches compared to the Kales, but it's just like basically small Starlight. Well, or whatever size you get. Have you tried Razer's glass skates? Yeah, I've been testing them basically constantly ever since I put them on. I did not know that Gorilla Glass was the same thing as aluminosilicate glass, so I thought it was like a totally different thing than Superglide. So it's like the same material, feel pretty similar to the Touch, very fast in the same way. Like I feel like they're the same speed that the Superglide started out at, but I just like haven't noticed them slow down yet. So I'm like really trying to use them a lot. Did they solve the rate and spin issue with GPX? Yeah, they actually did. There's an updated Raiden out that has like a slightly updated weave, similar speed, maybe a bit more controlled than it used to be. It's hard to recall off the top of my head like what my first Raiden felt like 3 years ago, but yeah, they did fix the spin out issue. These glass feet are so good. On the Viper Mini Signature Edition, they are like really good and fast. When will Razer make a plastic version? It's looking like summer. Can't say it's going to be sooner than that, according to what they said on Reddit. Should I go M2K or Death Air V3? I swear, I feel like that's the kind of comparisons I see. Yeah, I mean, I'm all for it, though. I don't stream not expecting to get these crazy mouse questions. But yeah, there's one that was like G703 or Atlantis Mini, and I was like, wow, I don't even know how to begin to answer that. Any difference in speed of the Saturn versus Saturn Pro? Yeah, well, if you want Saturn versus Saturn Pro info, just watch my Saturn Pro review, I promise you. Are you going to review the Esport Tiger Poying? I think they might have sent me that. I just kept it in the box. Like, fuck. I need to get on that. Thoughts on Spire Loke? Is that the Cordura one? I've never tried a Spire pad. Lamsu doesn't have a pour-on base or really good stitching. It has good stitching, but it's not a pour-on base, but it's also not a natural rubber base. It's like solid quality-wise, but it's not artisan-level quality. X2 boards your Viper Mini Signature Edition. What do you prefer? In terms of like actually using it, the Viper Mini Signature Edition. But I feel like my X2 is a better buy. Any thoughts, speculations on Ultralight X? Apparently they're going for mass production and always have them in stock. I feel like that is ambitious, but I don't know. I'm just looking. I feel like that wouldn't even make a lot of sense for the first time because they want to make sure they get it right before they go into like super mass production. So I would imagine like it could still be a drop. But if they want to do more mice, they said like their whole vision is to do more mice than they did before. Did your hand moisture just dry up on that Razer mouse in front of our own very eyes? Our very own eyes? Possible. Yeah, it's a Cordura one, which is apparently very different to other Cordura offerings. Okay, I'll try to check it out then. It's just like, I don't know. Getting back into mouse pads. I don't know if I have it in me. Are you guys really still interested in mouse pads? I honestly thought the game got figured out with the Saturn Pro, but now that it's not in stock, there's like a big hole in the market. Future tats? Really, the only one I want is a shocked emoji. Like, I don't care about anything enough to get it tattooed, at least currently. But a shocked emoji, like on my left forearm, that would be hard. Lamzu pad base is neoprene stitching's really good. Yeah, it's neoprene, that is what it's called. How do you avoid slow spots on mouse pads? I mean, most times slow spots are just like moisture and grime. So it's like not keeping your hand in the same place while it's moist is probably going to help the mouse pad a lot. Based tattoo? Indeed. Yeah, but beyond that, I don't have any idea. Artisan logo? That could be hard. Yeah, I see the potential in that. WhatsApp. That is a communication app for sure. GPX user for 2 years. If you want a smaller, if I want a smaller mouse, what's the best option? Atlantis Mini or HTS 4K or wait for Viper Mini? I would say an Atlantis. Like you could try an Atlantis Mini. It's not really going to be the same shape formula, but I've seen people say they went from GPX to Atlantis Mini and liked it. How do you clean your mouse and mouse feet? Usually just like with an alcohol wipe. And mouse feet, you can really just wipe them off with like a microfiber cloth, like a tissue. Don't have to clean them too much. Between Skypad and Superglide, what did you like more? In my review yesterday, or was that yesterday? 2 days ago, I compare them and I say it's pretty much a toss-up, but I personally do prefer the feeling of the Skypad. I don't know if that's just because I put more time onto it and it like broke in more, but it just feels like slightly like smoother, a little bit more controlled. The OG Big Dragon Lady Artisan logo? Yeah, the new gen Artisan users don't remember that. That must have been like a crazy like process they had to do on each pad, and one day they were just like, fuck it, we're too big for this. Face of RJN? What about RJN? RJN's the GOAT. I would love to look like RJN. Have you seen the Atlantis Mini Rose Gold? No, I actually haven't. I heard there's a black one coming out. Did you see a GPX Shell Leak? I did, man. Looks exciting. Will you be reviewing GameSense's glass and fast cloth head? Yeah, if they send me them out, which I presume they will, should be able to take a look at them. Do I get Lamzu Atlantis or wait for XM2W? I would get a standard Atlantis at this point. The XM2 Wii, like, that could be a better option. It's like $80, $33.70. I'm going to be getting it at the end of the week, but nothing wrong with the Lamzu, really. Can you try old mice? What do you recommend? XM2W will never come out. That's very likely. Why do you say that Zowie is so good for CSGO? I was like joking. I said that ironically. It's just because like everybody, lots of CS players swear by Zowie and they say that new mice are like too light, just bad compared to Zowie. It's like just the gold standard for CS. It's kind of a joke. But yeah, which old mice do you want? Because I'm willing to take a look at vintage mice, just like if they're boring. Any advice on skates for a Skypad 3.0 using a Viper V2? Just go with core pads, I would say. You just want something thick and PTFE. Should I get the black coated Atlantis Mini or the Sora purely for weight, maybe size? I would say black Atlantis Mini. Like, it's along with the coating and the size, I just would recommend it. Rival 310, Rival 710. Damn, old SteelSeries mice. I think I would rather be tortured by the CIA than use an old SteelSeries mouse, with all due respect. Have you tried the HTX? No, but I should be getting a unit of it early next week. Maybe Gwolf sent me a unit, just didn't tell me, and it's going to like show up today. Lamzu is releasing Thorn. Are you going to review it? Yeah, I don't think that's going to be out for another month or two, but I definitely will give it a shot. Bro, SteelSeries used to make insane shapes in 2015. Okay, maybe I'll give the 310 a shot. Multiple people are vouching for it. Konstantinos, we got a Greek in the chat. Best mouse for 19 by 10 centimeter hands with a relaxed claw, lots of palm contact. Relaxed claw, lots of palm contact. Honestly, could go with the Death Adder V3 Pro. I freaking love Gwolves. Who doesn't? Use code BORDSY. Shout out to Gwolves. Shout out to China. Why the bottle of water is always on the background? Why not? I love drinking water, and it's just in my background view. I encourage everybody to be hydrated. No way, this guy's name is Board C. How long should I wait to change my hightail to? Until you notice it's starting to feel bad, I would say. Big ups to China. Yeah, shouts out China. That's my guys. Do mouse heads count as tech reviews? Yeah, why not? What is it, like a garment review? Fabric review? On Saturn Pro, are core pads or Tiger Ice skates better? I would say Tiger Ice is just slightly lower friction and just feels better on cloth pads, but it's not massive. Can you bless us with a comedy of a Corsair mouse review? I should. I don't know if there's any Corsair mice worth taking a look at, though. How long does it take to get an Artisan pad to USA? Under 2 weeks, all things considered. Did you pre-order the new Ponage mouse? No, but they should be sending me one, perhaps? Textile review, true. Thoughts on Artisan resellers? I don't think there's really a point, because Artisan pads, like, you can generally find them in stock. It's not too hard. What's the Zowie mouse there? It's the EC2 wireless. The only wireless Zowie mouse. Who knows when they're going to make more? Do side-by-side comparison of the Sora X2 and Viper Mini Signature Edition. Okay, so we have The X2, Sora, and the Viper Mini Signature Edition. God, looking around my desk for these mice. Okay, so now we got the front. Now I'll do the side. I've learned from making reviews, it's not too easy to do the sides of 3 mice. I want to get like an overhead cam. Who thinks that would be a good idea? Would that like be a big help for the reviews, like size comparisons and shit? Sora seems nice for fingertip grip. I prefer like the X2 over it for fingertip. New tattoo? Nah, it's just a stamp. It is could potentially be a tattoo though at some point. It's an I Survived Boardsy Fest stamp that everybody who attends Boardsy Fest will be getting, presuming you survive. Seems like a good idea. Okay, I can make that happen. But another camera, fuck. Can't feel like a crazy good one. You will release a mouse in the future. Yeah, currently I'm just doing like just a collab signature edition. It said signature edition, like a collab version of the Pulsar X2 with Pulsar, zebra design, Huano blue shell pink dot switches, updated coding. But from there, I would like to do something a bit more ambitious in terms of a mouse release, if you get what I'm getting at. Yeah, I do think this is it's pretty sick though. Anything new on Logitech mice? There was a leak of the new Superlight shell, so that has a lot of potential, but there's nothing like firm, concrete confirmed. What is there going to be a Boardsy Edition X3? If I like the mouse and there's like enough interest, I don't see why there couldn't be. But it's not like confirmed. What's the first mouse that comes to your mind as worst mouse? Like literally first thought, Model O. Like if you, I don't even think that's the worst mouse on the market, but just by that question, when I read worst mouse comes to mind, just the Model O came to mind. No hater shit. It's just real. 8K wireless Logitech TerraWave TM wireless technology. 54G, new refurbished Hero sensor, fine-tuned optical switches, launching in 8 different colors. That's insane. Booga mouse, no? Yeah, that's probably worse, but it's not the first one that came to mind. But no, the Tommy Hilfiger mouse, if we're going to get into the specifics. What do you think about 29-gram Final Mouse? It seems very promising. I'm looking forward to getting a unit of it in hand and seeing what it's all about, though. Does 4K hertz really make a big difference? Can you feel it over 1K? See, like, a big difference, I wouldn't say so, but yes, you can feel it over 1K. It's like, people just gotta try it. I get so many questions, and it's just like, you can't really describe how it feels, but you can certainly notice the motion and input is just better. No, you're right. Just accidentally played my stream real quick. What don't you like about the Lamzu Atlantis? Honestly, it's just like, it's like feels kind of big, which is why I prefer the Atlantis Mini, but it's not even like that made the mouse unusable. Are you getting Fortnite earnings this year? Hopefully not. Hopefully I don't force myself to play through a Fortnite tournament. But they are switching to central servers, right? That's going to be interesting for comp. Do you think gaming sleeves are worth getting? Generally not. I mean, if you have a glass pad and your arm gets sticky, it could be worth it. But even then, just like wear something long sleeves, perhaps. Anyway, I can INC my G303 liftoff. I don't think so. I think it's just auto LOD from the sensor. Have you tried blacklining Lamzu? I heard it's better. Yeah, I actually covered it in some video, and it's a lot better. And so they're making a mini version in black in just like 5 days or something, so that should be sick. I have 10s in Last Legend, but I like the Last Legend more. That's interesting. Had to go to ER after using a Strider. He gave me 34 stitches. Wow. I will say the price tag on the Viper Mini SE was ridiculous, but using it and being my first 4K mouse is so good, the holes don't bother me. Yeah, like there's no doubt, like if you're spending the money on it, you're getting a good product, but it's just the price is crazy. My mom doesn't want me to order off my Arson website because she doesn't think it's safe. Dude, throughout the years, I've had so many kids come to me with that exact same complaint. I don't know what type of like schizophrenia that your parents have, but it's a legit website. No offense, but good Hien clone. I would say Lethal Gaming Gear Mercury for $15. It's hard to say anything's better than that. What number did you get of 1337? Mine said Boardsy. It said Signature Edition Boardsy, so it wasn't a numbered unit. So I presume they did lots of other units like that. Is that the Sora? It looks hot. This is indeed the Sora. Does using a mini fan pointing at your arm effective for keeping an arm dry? I don't know, man. It seems like you should be able to answer that question through testing. I have not done that. Yo, Yasas, Mike. What is up, man? Are optical switches better than mechanical switches? They don't like feel nicer, but I would say they're like more reliable. And just like they're probably the future of mouse switches. But they also do make battery life worse, which is another thing worth considering, but I don't think that's too massive. I just got Mercury and love it. I mean, yeah, for the price it's at, it's hard not to. Yo, Malachi Cantu with the $5. I wish high button count mice got the same sub 100 gram wireless engineering that other mice got. An ultralight Air X9 would be awesome. Yeah, I just wonder like how feasible that is, like ultralight super like MMO mice. I don't know, it would be cool though, because none of them do really. Like not the Razer Naga either. I think they came out with a new version of that. They didn't even bother sending me it. They're like, fuck it, you just would not like this. We used to have to navigate the Arson website in full Japanese. True. Found that covering your entire body in grip tape helps keep your gear dry. Really? That's crazy. There's a new version of the Naga? Yeah. Got it. If you use a MOBA mouse, you don't need lightweight? Yeah, but I mean, I guess some people would like to be able to, like, aim well with mice that have tons of buttons on them. I don't know. Have you considered growing a beard? Yeah, multiple times, but then I just wind up, like, it's like I'm a week in and I just, like, shave it off. I'm like, I look too disheveled. Is it worth jumping to LGG Saturn Pro from Arson Zero or stay? I mean, considering the fact that the Saturn Pro is not going to be restocked for, like, 5 months, I would say just staying on the Arson Zero makes the most sense. Do I get a mullet? I would advise against it, but it's ultimately up to you. How long have I been live? 2 hours, 16 minutes? It's pretty crazy. Why'd you never review the Zero Classic? Because I got the Zero Classic mid and it sucked, and I just didn't want to review it. You would look more beautiful with a beard, like Chris Hemsworth. That's true, man. Might have to go for it. Is there a date for the new Pulsar mice yet? No, but for the Boardsy edition, which I mean, I guess is a new Pulsar mouse, it's looking like March 17th. Should we get Infinity Mice the dual mousepad instead of LGG Saturn Pro since they are similar? No, I don't think they're really that similar. Why was the mid-zero bad? I just did not enjoy it nearly as much as the X-Soft one. It was just like... It just felt like a very average cloth bed. What do you think about SteelSeries mice washed brand? Basically, nothing they've made ever has really impressed me since I've gotten into mice. I can't believe I'm getting recognized in Boardsy's chat. Wait, what do you mean? Will Boardsy edition be in mini size as well? Yeah, there's going to be 1,500 minis and 1,500 medium sizes. Dark Green X2 Founders Edition, or wait for the Boardsy X2? I mean, I think you know my answer for that. Definitely got to wait for the Boardsy Edition. Like, come on, green? Who the fuck cares about green when you can have a zebra? Thoughts on the Ember Edge KX100? Is that like the YouTuber's mousepad? I feel like I've been asked about that a few times. Have you seen Logitech leak from the Will? I did see it, and it seems pretty, like, legit. It seems like there's going to be a USB-C Superlight released at some point this year. I just don't know. What's your cut on the mouse? It's not a lot. It's a flat rate. It's not like a per mouse ting. I mainly did it for the free units that I'm getting to give away at Boardsy Fest. Green is my favorite color, though? Nah, not anymore. It's not. Fiend got Linus Tech Tips pad and swears by it. I reviewed Linus Tech Tips pad, like back in 2020, I think, when it dropped, or was it 2021? Supposedly a GPX leaker is in the same group as the Viper Mini leaker. Damn, that guy's just like going around China just leaking mice. What a job. Skittle Ducks Jr. Yo, joining the Epic tier. I appreciate that, man. Wow, 2 new members this stream. That is legendary stuff. I appreciate that. Hope you enjoy all of the non-existent perks of becoming a member. 10 stopped using his mouse after a week. Holy shit, why can't I read? Oh, it's because you said lol after, bro. My brain's just not there. But, yeah, isn't Ten's using, like, the Saturn Pro and Atlantis Mini? He definitely watches my videos. Like, fully convinced. Been using the Pulsar ES2 mousepad for a month now. Seems legit. How did you find it versus the Jupiter? The ES2 is the control one, right? I thought that compared pretty well to the like GSR SE. Didn't compare too well to a Jupiter. Jupiter's just a lot slower. But yeah, I thought the ES2 was pretty high quality. I was gonna make a video on it soon. What's the red mouse? This is just the standard Pulsar X2 Mini, just in red. Kill 8.0's old coding. Yo, just saw Mercury's only $15. Why is it so much cheaper? Just because they ordered a ton and like we're not selling as many. Like the units of the Mercury were not selling as fast as the Venus and shit, so they put them on a pretty big sale. He sent the same question like 10 times. Which question? The Glorious Series 1 Pro one? Like, I don't understand. Like, I just watch my, like, when people are like, what do you think of this product that I've reviewed? It's like, maybe watch the review. Okay, that's just crazy how many times that question has been asked. $15 for a Heian clone is actually kind of insane. Yeah, I might have to, because people are asking me for budget mousepad recommendations. But then people are like, oh, I live in Malaysia. I can't get lethal gaming gear. I'm like, I don't know your local retailers, man. Are they going to make a new lighter Death Adder with the old shape? I would highly doubt that. Any plans to drop a video on the Razer glass feet? Yeah, I just want to get more testing because currently they're still like super fast, like how the Super Glides fell out of the box. And like, I'm just waiting to see if there's any change in speed. What do you think of the Glorious Series 1 Pro? Appreciate the $2, man. I think it's the greatest mouse of all time. Yo, finally caught a stream. What's up, Griffin? How's it going? When do you think new X-Lite V3 will release? Hopefully like spring before the summer. That would be ideal. I decided between Mercury and IKEA pad for my budget choice. If anyone's looking for something under 20, yeah, it's like there are some good options like across the board. Is diamond a good material for mouse feet? Nah. If I were you, I would just base off USA. I mean, that's what I plan to do. That's basically what I do on all of my budget product videos. It's just I get complaints. Imagine donuts to circumvent the timeout. I wouldn't complain about that. Cloth mouse feet on glass pad. It could work. I just don't know, like, cloth mouse feet. How's that gonna work? Are you just gonna put cloth on adhesive? How are the edges gonna be rounded? Mercury is not a Heian clone. Lol, I have both. If it's not a Heian clone, name a pad that it takes inspiration from more so than the Heian. Should I get core pads for my GPX and V2 or Air for Razer Strider? Wait, what is that question? Or Air for Razer Strider? Air. Oh, core pad Air skates? I would say just normal core pads. Like, the Air ones are just... It would make it even more scratchy and like rough, and I just don't feel like that's what you want. Do those like core pad air and control skates still only exist for the GPX? Best way to clean RS and mousepad was spray clean a meme, or does it actually work? It actually works. Like, it's not a deep clean, but I've had this pad for well over a year, never washed it. Definitely put like at least 100, 200 hours on it, like of mouse swiping. Just only cleaned it with Lysol. It still feels a-okay. Any news on a new Superlight? There is, but nothing's like hard confirmed. Does look like there's going to be a Superlight early 2023 though. I have core pad airs for my last Legend. Oh, they do make it for other ones now. Pulsar X2 Mini or Lamzu Atlantis, or wait for something better. I use a relaxed claw grip in tracking heavy games. I mean, you can't go wrong with either, I would say. It's like you can look at the shapes, see which one seems more appealing for your grip style, or you can just flip a coin. There's honestly a world of possibility. I would say, you said relaxed claw, but for fingertip, I would recommend the X2 Mini. Which mouse has the greatest scroll wheel of all time for web browsing? I don't know. I was always a fan of the GPX scroll wheel. X2 scroll wheel's nice. Razer's wheels are not too bad. You say before the Lamzu Mini White has a bad coating? It's not a bad coating. It's just nowhere near as good as their black coating. Like, it's just a standard plasticky feeling coating. And on their black version, it's like super grippy and insane. Any news on the new HTX Ace? I should be getting one on like early next week, I would imagine. Do you play Apex? Not really, but I'm gonna try out the new season later today, maybe. Can we get some more info on Boardsy Fest? Of course, like as it gets closer to dropping, or not dropping, but as it gets like closer to the date. But it's looking like July 8th, same location as last year, but just bigger and better than before. That's the big goal. EC2 is the best scroll wheel. It's a crazy opinion to have. XG Boardsy Edition based on Bruce Lee technique with issues, or V3 generation. What does that mean? Technique. What are the details for a new Pulsar mouse? Just look at their pin tweet. They go over their new releases for the next years, like many of them. Are Valorant players allowed at Boardsy Fest? Yeah, it seems like a lot of them showed up last time. What about the glorious Model O wireless? What about it, man? I'm not a big fan of it. Do you think they'll drop a Mercury Pro? Definitely not. Black Lamzu coating better than XG Boardsy coating? It's different. It's like more dry. I would say honestly, like it's a toss-up. Technology? I mean, well, what about the technology? Like, it's not using optical switches, but it's just the same MCU as the other X2s. Send me one of your Pulsar X2 mice. Well, I'm going to be giving a lot of them away, so there's a chance, man. There's a chance. Should I change my Model O wireless for a Viper V2? Yeah, I would highly recommend that. Honestly, do you have Pwned Stormbreaker yet? No, I don't think they've gotten into actually producing that mouse yet, so it's currently still just in the renders phase. I would like to get one, though. Doggo update, he's good. I showed a picture of him earlier. I'll show the same picture again now, and then I think I'm going to end the stream because, I don't know, not much else to say. Answered a lot of questions, did my job, but yeah, that's the puppy. He's growing, he's looking great. You're using only wireless mice? Yeah, on my desk at the moment it is only wireless. But yeah, that's going to be all. Appreciate everybody who stopped by. Just, do you buy every new iPhone? Nah. I went from 11 Pro to 14 Pro. What phone do you have? iPhone 14 Pro. But yeah, appreciate everybody who stopped by just on this random Wednesday afternoon stream. Really enjoying just streaming, answering these questions. I should have some videos out this week and the weekend. Definitely like a top mouse free trip style video, something like that. Then the tier list coming soon. But yeah, peace out, everybody.